lead protection.
Are they radioactive?
No, they're just gonna, dissolve stuff.
Oh, okay.
Latex gloves will not really cut it.
It's just
Well,
melting onto me.
I wouldn't expect latex to cut them anyways. Yeah.
I had to mess around on the character sheet to figure out, how much experience do I need to level up?
You don't actually ever have to touch the experience when you tell yourself to level up.
I did not know that.
I have not touched it once every time I've leveled up.
How are you doing it then?
You just press on the little cogwheel, launch level plus character mancer, and it's done.
Okay. Nice.
All
My experience
right.
points have been blank this whole time.
This is why he's a wizard.
Been reset to 0. I am beyond experience points.
I read a book.
All right. We're not going to wait anymore. Who remembers what happened last week or 2 weeks ago well enough to recap it for everyone else?
I do, unless someone else wants to go.
I'm gonna go for it.
Do it.
Get it.
Are you
That's
doing
really
it
cool,
psychically?
Zell.
Yeah.
I said go for it.
Oh, I thought you said that you were gonna do it.
Oh, I expressly gave you permission. And then I started hugging my cat.
Let's see. So we arrived at the city square and decided instead of going down the boulevard to hide along the side streets, which was mostly useful except for Zell accidentally bumping into a bookcase that ended up taking down an entire wall, which caused the large invisible acid monster to awaken, and then we stealthed away, though Zaz was invisible but did not realize that he was invisible, and just kind of cartoonishly tried to creep away until he realized he fucked up and then ran. And then the rest of us ran too, after we distracted the giant invisible acid worm to go somewhere else. We went inside and kind of explored, and then ran into multiple jellyfish oozes that split when hit by lightning, and eventually figured out that we could use the power module that we were there for to make an air bubble, which kind of took the water out of the sails of the ooze jellyfish. And then to capstone that, we found the very weird arbitrarium that was going to explode, but Cal helped instruct the rest of the party in how to turn that into a weapon, and then we got a shiny chromatic manville.
The first forged weapon of the game.
And probably last.
Is it still called the Manville, by the way, or has it been upgraded?
I don't know yet.
It's dependent. I think we discussed it's dependent on the actual element. In which case, when it's fire, it's the spicy manville.
Could it just be the rainbow manville?
I mean, I like chromatic manville if anything,
The ranville.
or the
Ooh,
chromanville. Chromanville.
Okay.
If it rolls frost damage, does it shrink a little?
Yeah.
But it gets really hard.
The hardened manville.
All right. I don't think we missed anything with the recap. Does anybody else have anything they want to add from last session? If not, we're ready to pick up right here in the magma forge in this, sort of research chamber. and its, I think, mission is to return to Ariel with the benthic core.
Yep.
All right then. Is there anything else we would like to do in the relative safety of this research sanctum, or are we venturing back into open water on our way back to the refuge?
I don't think we should stick around because I'm pretty sure these are not the only black puddings that we're going to run into.
Is that the starfish weapon array? Is that mobile or is that bolted to the ground?
It's not bolted, but it is large and heavy.
Okay.
All right, Leo.
It's meant to be like a tripod weapon.
Am I carrying that?
All right, Leo, you got this.
I'm trying to decide if it is a good idea to try and lug that with us, given the amount of shit between us and getting back.
Those giant worms are still out there. I don't know if it's a great idea to be doing any heavy lugging.
Fair enough. Okay.
It definitely doesn't favor stealth, but then again, if we find one, it would be nice to have a cannon, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, as you guys leave the sanctum, you're back at the stone archway looking at the collapsed ruin of this city, wrought from the destruction of the collapsing island. There's no immediate sign of this intangible, invisible lava worm, as it has been dubbed. How do you want to proceed? I'm assuming stealthily, but do we want to
Yeah.
go sort of retracing our steps through the outskirts like we scouted out previously? Is speed more important? And since the coast appears clear, do we just mad dash bolt back to the
We got-
refuge?
We got a ways to go to get back to the refuge. I think stealth is the good idea here.
Yep, stealth is the play.
Sure.
Okay. Kel, will you be like in the scout position leading the party again?
Yeah, I think that is for the best.
All right, why don't you start off by making an initial stealth roll for me?
While you do that, this is the second time that Zaz has been very underwater and decided that he needs to not be wearing armor. Because that has been a real freaking problem.
13 stealth. You maybe are overconfident. You have that just maybe you've just been attacked by surprise too many times. You can't shake that feeling that you're overexposed, that something is definitely hunting you. After your first, dozen or so tentative steps into the street, you dodge behind some rubble, tell the rest of the group to hold up, and you wait patiently. You have like a little mini inside-only panic attack. But nothing ever comes. Like you don't feel like that was incredibly stealthy, but you don't sense predation. Nothing swallowed you whole. So you flag on the rest of the team. You'll continue scouting ahead for a while. Everyone else following Kel's sort of instruction as they're dotting back and forth, finding the best places to hide, and you guys advance one person at a time. I'd like each of you to make a stealth roll, but no advantage, just a normal roll straight up. Unless you would otherwise be getting an advantage from a different source.
Oof.
Yeah, see, that's why Zaz is naked right now.
That's pretty great.
I think I have to click the advantage button and it will normalize that. So I'm going to do that and hope for the best.
Well, I did okay.
Got a 20, heck yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a natural 20. Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't like that it's grayed out. That's deceptive.
I mean, yeah, but I was pretty clear.
Yeah. Leo, are you actually wearing heavy armor?
Wearing my mithril armor.
Did you want to take it off like
No.
Vaz was?
Did you
I
say
don't think-
no?
I don't think. I mean, me as a player, sure, but Leo would probably wouldn't do that.
Oh, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Oh boy. Here we go again.
Kel's
That's-
gonna give you a look.
That's. I mean,
Look, your face is a mask. You have no look.
oh look, it's the same look you give me for everything.
But it's gonna be staring for a while. Like, slight head tilt, like, really, buddy?
Interesting. Cool. Cool.
The best part is I have a 1, and then I have a -1 to stealth, so it's a 0.
That is neat.
Yeah.
You, Leo, you're not used to wielding the spicy crow manville yet, and as you're bringing up the rear of the party, as I assume you're in heavy mail, heavy armor, you're gonna be a little bit slower than everybody else. You're kind of just doing like moonwalk jumps behind the rest of the party, taking large, not silent strides, but
Kerchunk, kerchunk, kerchunk.
and you just land funny on a piece of debris and start to tip over sideways, and it's all happening in slow motion because you're underwater. But you just slam the manville down to sort of like, use it as a crutch, as a third leg to stop yourself from falling completely, and it discharges a massive pulse of energy. Go ahead and what was the roll? Did we roll on the table for the manville yet?
Yeah, it was lightning, I believe.
Oh, perfect. Um, the black abyssal depths are suddenly illuminated by a streaking arc of lightning that
Oh
sort of striderubs
no!
out from the impact area, lighting up everybody behind you, casting ghost silhouettes against the silt in the water, as well as like a sort of resounding boom that rumbles from all around you. It If there was anything even remotely nearby, it is definitely aware of your presence now.
Nice.
I imagine Kel and everybody else looks back to you, just kind of like shrugging shoulders in your heavy mail with your still sort of static, clingy manville in hand. Does this change the plan at all, or are we still going to maintain moving from room to room along the outskirts of the city until we hit that trench again?
I'll stay a little farther back from everyone else.
What really gave us meat? Oh, lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Let's keep with the plan, I guess. After that big explosion, nothing sees me. I can hold a nat 20 stealth, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I think we still keep with the plan for right now, and just
Yeah.
letting Fubarius bring up the rear as the dangly little
Way back
lure.
there. Would you mind holding this monofilament for me?
Here, I got this glow stick for you. Just like dangle it from your head.
Make it like an anglerfish.
Yep.
Everybody else is able to advance. Leo, you said you're going to wait, maybe take a beat, let them get a couple of maybe 100 yards ahead of you. Do you want more or less space?
100 yards is fine. I got a call. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. Hopefully it's his test results. You you watch as Leo sort of disappears in your rearview mirror, no longer being able to see the crackling lightning from the manville. The rest of you move all the way to the outskirts of the city with no problem. Kel leading the way, finding decent enough hiding places. You are now at the outer edge of the city's perimeter. From here, it's just open oceanic floor all the way back to the refuge. There were several segments where there was like furrowed, old, dry, hardened magma channels carved into the ocean floor. That's how you got here. Do you want to attempt to take those back? Or again, are we just kind of like in a straight line open swim speed as fast as we can?
I think the tunnels are probably a good idea.
I mean, it sucks because now I know what caused them.
Yeah. We do know what caused them. Are there, like, from where that hit earlier, are there, like, gouges in the ground like that over there?
Where is over there?
Uh, where we distracted the invisible acid worm, is there, like, deep gouges in the ground from where it went through it?
There were a couple of times where it made burrows, trying to affect the shatter that Zaz had cast. There are also like holes and furrows in the around the city. It's hard to tell whether they were caused by the cataclysmic destruction of the collapsing island beam, or knowing what you know now, maybe it makes more sense that this thing had furrowed in and out around the city here, kind of creating its own subterranean network.
Hmm. You know, I don't fucking know. What do y'all think?
Let's take the tunnel. I think that if we take the tunnel, at the very least, we will have some cover from the outside.
Yeah.
And then we can
And-
only get attacked from one side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we encounter the thing in the tunnel, we have no maneuverability. Hold on. This tunnel is not the size of this worm, right? Like, it's not.
When we initially narrated it, it was about 8 feet deep, with the top of it being partially in some places to completely exposed to the water above it, with about a 10-foot diameter, like
Okay,
half
no.
pipe beneath it. So
Yeah, no, never mind. The tunnels are the smart play. Never mind. The gouges, yeah.
mhm.
Okay.
You're not wrong. Like, you could always swim up, but like there is the potential for confinement, and if the creature just made like a charge attack, the first 2 or 3 people in line are probably just dead. But the upside is that if all 4 of your sides are, or all 5 of your 6 sides are covered, the attack can only come from one place, so that's also comforting. Leo, you are last on purpose, but also because of your speed. You get to the edge of the city, and you can see that the last of the people have already closed the 30-foot span between the edge, like the safety, if you will, of the last big building in the city, and made it to the first of these sort of furrows in the ground. You can see several heads just barely exposed, like they're waiting to see you. Once your presence is felt by them, the heads disappear and they're moving on, trying to keep that lead that you had. I'd like you to make a stealth check here as you depart the edge of the city.
Okay.
That's better.
I have to roll a die here. Leo, I would like a perception check from you.
Okay. I'm rolling real low tonight. That's not
You
good.
are rolling real well. I in my Christmas stocking this year, Destiny got me a heavy red metallic 20-sided die.
Nice.
1 through 20, except there isn't a 1, it just says fuck.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the situation I'm in right now.
um you might still be a little bit deafened from the accidental discharge of your weapon. It could be the depths, it could be just the stress of the situation, but like, you don't really, you're not paying attention, and you know that you're not. That's the worst part. But you decide, they're already far enough ahead of you that if they get into trouble, you won't be able to help them, and you decide to just go for it. And you get about 4 steps across, and you can hear something in the water. It sounds somewhere between like a whale song and like the vibration that accompanies an earthquake. It's a truly eerie and off-putting sound, but it sounds a lot like when that burrowing lava creature attacked the shatter that Zaz had cast in the middle of the town square.
Hello.
Hey, Dax.
Hello.
Hello.
At this moment, I'll give you 2 choices. You can either attempt to dash for the magma channel, or you can go back into the safety of the city ruins.
Let's go for broke and just dash for it.
Okay. The rest of the party in the in the channels, I'd like each of you to make a perception roll, and we'll determine who sees what and when.
One of these days, we're gonna roll something I'm good at.
Oops, that was supposed to be a 6. I'm way too far ahead to see anything.
All right. Jez is really the only one maybe paying attention, maybe the only one alert enough underwater. She has gotten awfully comfortable with that ring of swimming, so the locomotion is no longer a distraction, so her mind is freed up to be paying attention more. you can see from the edge of the city a dwarf in like full panic sprinting, like he's pumping his arms like a sprinter in the Olympics, just like not even swimming, he's literally running on the ocean floor, manville in hand, just pumping arms up and down as fast as he can. And behind him you can see a bunch of silt and debris from the city being kicked up in a torrent, as though something is in fast pursuit.
Huh.
Oh boy.
Well then, I inform the group of what I see.
It's not my bag, but somebody should do something about that.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what I have negative strength. I know water makes it easy. What do you want me to do? Go out there and pull him, push him with my little tiny goblin legs, like dog, like kick paddling behind me? I spend a
now
key point to turn myself into a motorboat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Could I use my divine sense to see if to sense if something's like chasing me?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Cool.
Is the range 30 or 60?
It says I don't know.
Well, hopefully it says something. It was going to be confusing otherwise.
Because it does not say something actually. 60 feet. There we go.
The you get the sense that something abyssal is pursuing you, whether you taste that as like corroded copper in your mouth, or you smell it as brimstone, or you feel it as a twinge. Something infernal is within 60 feet of you from the rear.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, no worries, Dex. Glad you're okay.
Is this when
I'm fine. Just stop the people in front of me.
Leah, while you're thinking, if there's anybody else, since Jezza made everybody else aware, we can do like one action per person. With, I guess, probably Kel going last since they were the farthest person away. So, Jezza, is there any action you'd like to take?
Okay. I'm trying to legitimately think if there's anything Try, can I ask you a meta question here real quick?
Sure.
And you don't have to give me an answer. If you
Mhm.
Am I faster than this thing?
Actually, make a intelligence check, just base intelligence, because you've seen it move a couple of times in the city.
Oh, this is going to go horribly. Okay. Did that work?
Yes.
Yeah.
It did display a number.
Okay, there we go.
It worked, just not what you wanted.
It could be traditional like goblin overconfidence. It's hard to know, but you think all things equal, in an open field all-out sprint, you could swim faster than this thing.
Oh, I don't know what to interpret with that statement from that number. Hold on. Let me just read something monk here real quick. Hold on.
Monkey.
While he's debating, does anybody else have an action they'd like to take that doesn't interfere with his action?
Zaz is going to make a water slide. Same as a couple sessions ago.
Nice.
Going to cast Sorry for the Giant Wall of Words. Control water. And it's the... Shoot, which one is it?
Redirect flow?
It's redirect flow, yeah. This is just to try and scoop up Leo, and maybe that's even the blessing he's praying for. But let's go.
Yeah, I think they've all got a better idea than me at this point. Like, my only thing is that I swim out there and try and use evasion, because maybe it's like dash attack counts as area of effect, and I could use evasion on it. I don't know.
Okay. Leo, as you are churning water for your very life, you can, in the very limit of your vision, see a holy symbol appear out of the trench, and a rushing torrent of water begins to take you off of your feet, propelling you forward towards the trench super fast, like you're caught in a very powerful riptide. And you are slungshot the remaining 100 or so feet to the lip of that crevasse very, very rapidly. You're able to sort of grab purchase on the ledge and let yourself be carried in by the momentum of the slipstream into this sort of trench where your team is waiting. Anyone else have any actions?
Where am I at this juncture?
You are in the lava tube with everybody else. Leo was the last man out and accidentally attracted that invisible creature again.
Can I try to cave in the entrance so the thing can't follow us?
I don't know if that's gonna work, buddy.
I as a DM, I feel like my response should always be, you can try that.
Okay.
Given how it just went through, like, buildings,
Did it do that?
it did do that.
I wasn't here for that part of the session last time.
Yeah, it like it's either partly incorporeal or has the ability to destroy matter at a pretty much at will scale. It was burrowing through solid matter pretty easily.
Okay, never mind then. With my previous knowledge, I won't think of doing that.
Can I attempt to distract it like I did the last one?
Sure.
I'm gonna fire a Sunsoul bolt in a direction perpendicular to Leo's position
Nice.
and still away from the group.
Anybody who hasn't taken action, do you want to aid in this endeavor?
I have an entirely different plan, but I'm gonna wait and see how this plays out.
All right.
You want a performance for that?
Reed, yes, please make a performance roll.
Fingers crossed.
Can I also do something a little bit smarter?
Oh, sorry, that wasn't supposed to be with
Can I-
advantage, but it didn't matter.
Before, I guess he's already done it. But before, am I muted?
No, we can hear you.
No, we hear you.
I've got a spell that goes a little bit farther. I'm gonna do a wall of fire directly behind it, 120 feet behind us. Does that work?
Help me understand the placement. I'm slightly confused.
Okay,
You're in a trench. The monster's coming at you.
Coming at you. You know what? It wouldn't see it, would it? Never mind.
Reed, you fire off a flare, your deliberate Sunsoul bolt, 90 degrees off track. This kind of errant sunburst, working like an aquatic flare, shoots out, and the creature does turn and goes to investigate it and like chomps at it like it did before, not being able to consume it. You watch like the sort of silty outline of it circle back around for a second and a third bite. It seems to be quite frustrated that it can't consume it until eventually your sunbolt sort of fizzles out.
Excellent, thank you.
For this exact moment, it seems to be distracted. How do you guys want to proceed? Do you want to hang tight? Do you want to keep moving? Do you want to sprint? Talk at me.
I think we should keep moving slowly. Leo, for the love of God and all that is holy, take off your goddamn armor.
Oh, since someone brought it up, I guess Leo would actually take it off then.
No, that's fair. If someone was legitimately to say to Leo, for the love of God, you swim like a brick,
Captain.
I'd probably be like, oh, you know what? You're right. I should probably take off my armor.
Yeah, totally. Like in character, makes a lot of sense. Like, I'm with it. Thank you, Food, for doing that.
Thank you for letting me know.
Trusting Kel's ability to stick to the shadows and navigate us through these trenches all the way back to where Ariel created that opening in the stone wall, I will allow everybody to make a stealth roll with advantage.
Hey, do I need to make a stealth roll?
No, you're good.
Do I need to make a stealth roll?
Do you have the same advantaged tattoo?
No, but I rolled 25 the first time. Just kidding.
I'm the the advantage plus proficiency for Kel, I think, speaks for
Yeah,
itself.
I totally understand.
With my crit, can I use that to assist anyone else who rolled low?
It doesn't appear that that's going to be needed. If you want to story wave helping Leo, that's fine. He could certainly use the help, but he technically did not screw the pooch on this one.
I just don't want to change my character sheet. I'm going to roll with disadvantage, and it's the good version. I'm being as lazy as humanly possible.
Perfect.
Nice.
Can't you just like uncheck mark it?
Well, like the armor?
Yeah.
I wonder if that works.
Because that's what I did, and it worked for me.
Ignore this next roll. I'm living with the 13, but
Hey, look at that.
That's
It does work.
amazing.
Thanks.
Hey,
Nice.
All right, good to know.
Yeah, with that, everybody, we seem to have left the creature in the dust. Maybe it's still trying to figure out where the radiant sunbolt came from. Maybe it's just lost interest in you. Maybe it's full. Or Kel is just that good in hide and seek, guiding you guys all the way back to the safety of the grotto. You can use the conch shell to ask Ariel to open it up, or you can attempt to swim back over to the actual existing cave entrance. You guys pick.
I was gonna ask Ariel to open up using the conch shell. I don't want to deal with fucking death salads again.
Just open up your back door.
I only got one banishment left.
You guys wait for a moment. The stone is shaped away, creating a perfect, 10-foot diameter hole in the wall, plenty wide enough for everybody to swim through at the same time, closing almost instantly behind you. You can see Ariel and Malenti approaching down the hallway, and you've got like that critical 2 or 3 seconds to make it look like you are not out of breath and completely disheveled for the hero shot.
Get it? Let's do that.
Totally
Strike that
donning my
pose.
armor back on.
Putting armor on takes way faster than we have time for in that catch your breath.
I will definitely
Actually, in this
stay
moment,
behind.
is really unfortunate for naked Zaz.
I was gonna say, I imagine at this point we find 2 or 3 of you striking quite a heroic pose, and just naked Zaz standing proudly displaying,
No,
Ball
there's
buckets.
shame. There's dad.
hiding themselves while Leo hopping on one leg is trying to get, Greaves on.
I will definitely stop and bring up the rear if it means I can get my armor on. I'll show up late.
I'll show up late. Very well. You're the last of the party. By the time you get there, Ariel and Malenti have already begun conversation with Kel and Jezza, who I believe is the person in possession of the benthic core, and they ask you if you've had success.
Yes. And I have. Who has the benthic core? Because it's not me.
Pretty sure Jezza does.
Jezza, please give them the core.
Yeah. I walk forward. I like pull it out of my belt pouch, and I walk forward, kind of like up in my 2 hands. Like, I'm assuming, am I in like the middle of the room? Like, are they all like positioned like triangle chairs, or are they all like next to each other at the front?
This is just them meeting you in one of the antechambers to the meeting room. I was just putting this up to remind you of where you guys were.
Okay. I walk forward, kind of just out of arm's reach, so that they have to come a little bit forward, but I'm holding it up in my 2 hands with like tiny goblin like up above my head. It's like,
Nice. Ariel gently takes it from you one-handed, and is unsure of the protocol. Like, her webbed hand is outstretched, and she like hesitantly goes to pat you on the head, but thinks better of that, and just offers her outstretched palm, like kind of unsure of what the correct gesture is here.
I grab her palm and I like shake it and I back up. Like with both hands. One tiny goblin hand in her hand and the other one on the other side, and I just kind of get like, yeah.
Yep, she lets you kind of do it unfamiliar with the custom at all, and just says, well, that was surprisingly pleasant. She is so impressed, as is Melenti, that you guys were able to recover this. They tell you that they would truly like to hear the harrowing tale of what you endured, because some of you are still quite nearly dead. But this cannot wait. This has
Sure
to be
am.
given to the council immediately, and she wants you to follow them into the central meeting chamber where the three thrones of the Triune are. That's a hard sentence. Where Calypso, Undine, and Sonara are waiting, and Ariel presents the benthic core, and everyone cheers. And there's discussion about perhaps the surface dwellers aren't all bad. There are a few in the crowd who are even cheering and praising you. You're getting adulation, praise, thanks. It's a radically different tone than it was before. For these people, the return of the benthic core represents like a fresh start, a way to start rebuilding. And once Ariel gives the benthic core to Sonara, she immediately starts casting a spell, and the refuge itself starts to deconstruct. Portions of the stone all around you start to just kind of like flake and fleck off. And as they do, they're forming a crystalline lattice of coral on the floor of the sea as they land, kind of like the deck of those coral skipper ships that you saw before, creating these sort of octagonal plates that interlock to create walls and furniture and stuff. And in a matter of just a few minutes, she has constructed most of a large chamber, and you can see that the spell is continuing to weave well beyond the bounds of this small cave, building a massive stronghold. It's magic on a scale that is hard for you guys to imagine.
And I try to imagine it anyways.
it
With an
is
Arcana check.
impressive. Like, yeah, you can roll an Arcana.
That is beyond comprehension.
You notice that specifically the somatic components that she's adding, the gestures to the spell, look remarkably similar to like a Liamon's Tiny Hut or a Darren's Instant Fortress spell, but the words she's using are completely foreign to you, and the fact that there's no there's no end to it, it just keeps ever expanding. You lack the foundational understanding to know whether that magic is coming from the core or from her, or some kind of combination of the two. The spell is not entirely foreign to you, but to say that you understand it would be an overstatement.
I think Cal can also make a logical leap that, based on the previous conversations about sort of asking for magic instead of taking for it, it's partially also like bleeds into that a little bit, even though they're still like missing the foundations for how that exactly works.
Yeah, it seems it. This would be probably Kel's first step on the path to understanding that kind of magic, where something at this grand scale, based on your history and your education and your careful study, would require millions of gold in spell components and several ritual casters working cooperatively to shift, to manipulate reality. But this seems more like you're saying, like a conversation. She's simply asking for these things to be performed, and it seems like the world around her is cooperating.
Cool.
In very short order, a beautiful throne room is being erected, replacing these three kind of rough-hewn stone chairs into beautiful articulated coral thrones. And she tells you that because of your heroism, she is willing to entertain speaking with your leader. Sonara pauses the spell, and says that she is uncertain of what the protocol is for meeting a leader, but if she would be willing to travel here, she would be granted an audience with the Triune. Calypso, the second Triune, is in agreement and nods her head. Undine does not seem to be in agreement and says that no human should be allowed in this, what is now essentially our capital, our stronghold. Since they very recently destroyed the last one, you would invite them in again? I cannot stand for this. And Calypso quickly corrects her that she does not need to, that they have a quorum. Apparently, if 2/3 of the Triune can agree to something that's not, traumatically important, that 2/3 is plenty.
Okay. We can talk to our leader about this, though given the dangers that we've faced coming here, we would need some help as an escort.
Even Melendi can't help but chuckle. Like, the three leaders look at you like you like like they're driving on the fast lane of a freeway and you're hitchhiking. Like, they're seeing the world in a way that you are not yet. But Malenti just says, "Do none among you know how to displace something from one location to another?"
Give me a level.
Zaz
She
is
says
going to
that-
whisper to Pig, yeah, I know how to displace my pants.
She tells you that one of the first
merely
spells they
words.
learn is displacement.
Merely words, not objects.
She draws on a fan-shaped sun shell some very small, very crude arcane runes with like a sharp fingernail etching them in, and hands it to you with her palm out, like offering you to take this fanned shell. And she takes her left hand and in the air draws a sigil that looks kind of like the human representation for the number pi, and is demonstrating that if you add that to it, it will complete the ritual.
Hell takes the shell and blushes a little bit, and then finishes the sigil.
The rings glow, creating sort of a slowly rotating circle of runes, and in your other hand, the hand not holding the shell, a second ring of glowing runes has materialized out of nowhere, and she drops a small pebble onto the shell and it disappears, appearing in your open right hand.
Interesting.
Gosh, she really is treating us like children.
Hey, Kel is loving this. Like, is not feeling like they're being patronized. They're like, this is deeply fascinating, and I am having a great time.
Yeah, the Kobold Council is feeling mildly patronized.
Malenti, taking the council's lead, asks you, Kel, if there's any in your queen's employ who would be familiar with a spell like this.
I would assume so. Would that be like a safe assumption for Kel to make?
Almost certainly Amara would be able to certainly identify and utilize a teleportation sword, not cast one herself.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, there is.
Then she asks if you would like to help her make a summoning portal here in the throne room. She could use a second set of hands.
Sure. I'd be happy to.
Can anybody besides Kel send a message? Or is this just one person must do all the jobs? I don't remember who else has it.
If I
I
send a
don't have
message, you mean write a letter and hand it off to a courier? Then yes.
I think he means cast sending, which I do not have prepared right now.
I don't
Okay.
have anything like that. No.
Then your friend Ariel offers to take down a short message. She tells you that she can send this to whoever she wants. If you guys, whoever the penman is going to be for this letter, thinks about the recipient hard enough, she should be able to get the message directly to that person. But she tells you that it is going to be limited to 20. She has a hard time coming up with the common word for this, and so just like with her mouth makes little blubs of animated water or of animated trapped air that just create words in space. So if anybody wants to send Queen Gwendolyn a 20-word message that can be sent through Ariel's magic.
Be prepared for a summoning portal, baby.
Baby.
Dude, we only get 20 words. Don't spend 2 words on baby.
Wow.
Think tweets.
Perfect.
I don't know.
I love you. I love you, Foob.
Damn, your girl dummy thick.
Someone should write a message out in chat, and we should send that to Queen Gwendolyn.
Not me. I'm doing enough.
It's fine. Zaz will take care of you. Just give me a sec.
I think Alexis should do it.
No. You got my awful submission.
Am I not seeing? Is my chat not scrolling or?
Zaz Middle River is typing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you.
While Zaz is scrolling on the parchment provided by Ariel for the message to be sent, everybody else is kind of sitting contentedly while young Sawagan children are like tentatively like daring each other to get closer and closer to the surface dwellers, the outsiders. You can tell that they're nervous and anxious about it, but like every time you look at one, they take 3 steps back really closely, and as soon as your gaze wanders again, they're like daring each other to get a little bit closer. One of them is close to almost touching Leo's waistcoat. It's a cute little game. And Kel continues to scrawl out on the ocean floor on this coral surface the teleportation runes that will create a gateway between the ship above and this location. Nice.
Nice.
Well done, Saz. Then, in very short order, the council assembles, is waiting for your queen. Once the... Excuse me 1 second. Need to make sure that this is ready for us. It certainly looks like it is. And very quickly, the portal glows, and stepping through it as if from one room to another is Queen Gwendolyn, her protector Sir Eric, and Amara Sorrow. In the beautiful, ornate, almost crystalline coral stronghold that's been built here. The... Nice. Reed's playing with the kids. The 3-in-1, even though Undine doesn't seem to particularly appreciate her presence, they all say welcome in common tongue to Gwendolyn, who politely curtsies and thanks her for the invitation and for the welcome to such a beautiful stronghold. She's looking at you, the 7 of you, for any advice or any input. Kind of like a where do we stand? Catch me up. What don't I know?
Just give her 2 thumbs up.
Nice. Sinara tells her that in their world, leadership is not the purview of a single person, that she does not understand the wisdom in electing only one leader, but she understands that that is the system that Gwendolyn is from and prefers, and asks what she hopes to get out of a conversation. She specifically uses the words, "What would make this productive to you?" It's not rude, but it's very utilitarian. Gwendolyn sort of, expecting, maybe she doesn't know what she was expecting, goes into, just her stately responsibilities, and first among those is a concession that they won't try to drown her citizens anymore. Second among them would be a concession from her that they won't engage in armed conflict against them. She says, in my world, it's called an armistice. If we can at least agree to that, that is a platform on which we can build further agreements and establish a relationship. The Triune looks to Ariel and Malenti, and they both give a signal, a hand-based signal that you think might be the equivalent of a thumbs up in their world. And Sonara says, it is agreed. By Triune Council, you shall have your armistice. Everybody in the room sort of feels a lot relaxed now. You can see Sir Eric's posture relax. Amara, looking over her left shoulder, smiles at you, like almost telling you good job without saying it. This is the first like legitimate move towards peace and understanding that we've had, and they are wanting to talk about further concessions and what would continue to make this relationship productive for both parties. Leo, while that's happening, I would like you to make a wisdom check. Just wisdom attribute.
Perfectly average.
Perfectly average indeed. Perhaps that could be your character's subclass name.
Definitely.
I am perfect. Lee average. While they're discussing matters of state and, potential ownership rights to the land, arguing over who was here first versus, if you guys were here first, how come your name isn't on it? Those kinds of arguments. Nothing that devolves into violence, nothing that threatens to derail the conversation, but more just like a polite conversation about like indigenous people's rights. With Queen Gwendolyn sort of reminding her that it's not like they were colonizers themselves. They didn't ask to be brought here. They are here. And for her people, going back as far as generational history records, your people were non-existent or perhaps even just mythological. And she doesn't know that, the purported sins of the past should necessarily be carried in perpetuity into the future. And they're just debating the kind of the finer points of that. Being honest with yourself, you find this immensely boring. You would much rather go back and fight the invisible lava monster than have to sit through what is likely going to be hours and hours of this. Looking around for either a place to sit or maybe something to eat or drink. You suddenly detect something. Something pings your spider senses. You get a deep sense of something abyssal. Again, smelling it like brimstone or feeling it like a hairs on the back of your neck situation.
I'm gonna start to look a little agitated, and like start looking around and everything. Maybe setting off some alarms to my teammates to the party, and just be like, I just kind of whisper, say, I sense something nearby.
Zaz can take a hint. He's gonna walk over and just put his hand on his shoulder. That's just because you're hurt still. Hold on. And he's just gonna heal him.
Nice.
Hell is deeply interested in this conversation between
Nice.
the Triune and Queen Gwendolyn.
At one
Totally
point,
misses what's
shushing
going on.
Leo.
Alexis
They're getting to
is
the good part.
Alexis is like half listening to the conversation and kind of overhears Leon. It's like, what do you mean something feels off? Just kind of, pushing that knowing that Leo is on, may potentially be on to something.
That was not supposed to be with advantage.
Reed, you look around the room. It's a bunch of happy merfolk, a bunch of pleasantly smiling Sawagan people. The conversation is still going super well. There's no obvious signs of danger, at least not in any way that you would quantify it. I mean, if not for everyone's sort of trust in Captain Stronghammer, it would seem like he's being a little overcautious.
I'm gonna start like eyeing up Undine and see if she's like maybe plotting anything.
Make a perception check.
Zaz just thinks you're being fussy.
Dang.
She seems to genuinely be paying attention to the conversation. Her hands are visible and they're not manipulating anything. She even interjects at least 2 or 3 points during the conversation to talk about sovereignty and how, just because you were unaware it was someone's property does not mean it's not their property. You can wander unknowingly into someone's backyard, and that's fine. But when you start building there and then you start defending it as though it were your own, that's where her rights are stepped upon, and that is her primary grievance. That's why she's gone to war with these service dwellers, because you don't even think that someone else might have owned this long before you were here. You didn't even think to ask us. She seems genuinely engaged in the conversation. It's as much as you don't trust her, and as much as she's proven herself to be untrustworthy. Hard to know now. But as you turn to your friends, like, I don't get it. The sense is now powerful. Something abyssal is within 30 feet of you.
Leo, you will have to actively try and get Tell's attention, but if you do, they will probably hear you.
I'm gonna shove Kel.
What?
Just like one hand, just kind of like shove them to the side and be like, "Hey."
What?
And I'm assuming I'm strong enough that like they're visibly off put.
Yes, I think so.
Get shoved 5 feet.
Like, hey, there is something nearby. This is not good. And then I'm gonna interrupt the meeting and be like, hey, there's something uneasy nearby.
Something's coming.
Yeah, something, and I'm telling something abyssal is nearby, and everyone should be on alert.
Queen Gwendolyn says, "You do not know your place. You do not interrupt these proceedings."
If it's what we have faced before, I think
And I would tell her
everyone is in danger.
And I would tell her I would not interrupt these unless I felt that we were all in danger.
Queen Gwendolyn looks to the Triune Council, and as the Triune Council are starting to ascertain what's going on, if there is anything to be understood, you watch just instinctively Sir Eric and Amara close, getting much closer to the Queen than they were previously, closing ranks defensively. If you think there's a problem, they don't want to risk the Queen. And just as Sonara says, "We'll get to the bottom of this," and begins running her finger in concentric circles around the open palm of her left hand. Undine stands up in her chair and says, "Take them now!" And brimstone-laced gateways open up all around you, summoning creatures into the courtyard. Like this.
Jeez!
I'd like
Oh
initiative.
boy.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage.
Oh, look at all those pre-rolled
Emotional.
initiatives. That's not good.
Where'd those come from?
That's a lot of
Damn.
nuts.
Hey, someone got
That's
a negative
not
too.
good.
Or are they efficiatives?
Wait, did we all? Did he roll initiative for
Nope.
all of us?
Horrible.
That's from our previous session, I think.
Oh, yeah, it was
Horrible.
previous
I don't know
previous
who just
session.
said efficiatives. Horrible. Leave.
That was
I
Zell.
liked it. Thank you, Sal.
Let's do that
I'll
again.
call him out.
I ain't mad. I'm proud of that.
Oh, I must have missed. Unfortunately, I don't know how I did, but I must have missed the roll for initiative. Fuck.
I don't think Try actually said that. I think we all just started rolling initiative.
Okay, cool, because I didn't even have my turn tracker equipped, so.
Oh, I felt like I said it. Maybe I cut out.
No, you did.
It's like you're walking
But
the
when you
street
did it-
late at night and someone out behind you shouts, "Hey!" Like you may turn around, but you definitely like clutch your bag and make sure you have your phone and stuff. It's that kind of reflexive. You're in trouble. Roll initiative.
And you pull out your sword.
Who are we missing?
Sides basics.
I didn't have my token selected, so I might not be on the list. Oh no, there I am. I'm at the bottom.
Yeah, I added you. I feel like. I guess that's everybody. Jezza, you're the first to react as literal dozens of creatures materialize through these brimstone gateways that are created as like perpendicular spherical planes that just appeared. There's this terrible smell of brimstone and almost ozone with their arrival, and 4 large Sawagan barons emerge. Each of them is wearing a necklace made of human skulls, and several other Sawagan. They're not unlike the warriors you fought before. Each platoon seems to be assigned at least one priestess, a powerful caster. What do you want to do, oh dexterous monk?
Oh, don't do that. Remind me, these two are who again?
The one that you just pinged is Malenti, the sorceress teacher, and the one on the left is Ariel.
Right, okay. This is a bad situation to be in now, isn't it?
It is not the best situation we've been in.
This is probably the perfect situation. Look at all the things we get to kill.
So what's... Alright, here, metagame real quick. What do we think is the plan of just rushing Undine? Bad?
Nope.
Bad, I'm assuming?
Oh, I'm gonna do something to her when it gets to my turn.
I don't think we should rush her. I think we should maybe crowd control here. Take out some of the...
Back to our queen.
Yeah.
Well, she said... Oh, no, they're trying to kill us, so never mind. She said take them, so... Alright. I'm just gonna invoke my basic RPG rules. Go for the caster, so...
I'm in the
Jezza...
dress.
Yeah, get the one in the dress. Jezza's gonna go here. And Jezza is just gonna begin the traditional monk smackdown on Pink. Make sure I'm selected. Yeah, okay, sorry. So it's gonna be the whole shebang. So double attack into flurry of blows.
Nice.
It's
It's dead. Probably. Look at all that damage.
I think let's roll the critical and the 15 first. Because that might be all you have to roll, particularly.
Okay. Crit.
Oof.
It's a good crit. It doesn't matter that it's a 4.
Here's the
Hey,
table.
real quick, I just heard back from Basics. He's going to be out for the night. He had some family stuff.
Okay.
That's fair.
Oh, okay.
He's all right though.
Sounds like he is physically all right, and it's up to him to say more.
Copy that. Thanks for checking on him.
Yep.
Jezza, you feel it's imperative to press the advantage no matter the cost. You can choose to gain advantage on all attacks against your target until the end of your next turn, but if you do so, all enemies have advantage on their attack rolls against you until the end of next turn. So you basically have the option of going reckless if you want.
Huh.
Just want to say going reckless has always worked for me.
Says the barbarian.
No, I
I was gonna say.
think I'm good.
That's probably a good idea, or else you would end up being another of Leo's ghosts.
Nah, you'd be fine.
Okay. And your damage is enough to kill that priestess outright. Before she can even get the prepared spell that she had out of her mouth, the rapid flurry of blows snap, crackle, and pop bones until you drop her. There's a hush in the crowd as some of the people are astonished with both the speed and ferocity of your attacks. Do you want to move anymore? I think you probably have some move left.
What is my move actually on that note?
Come back to the group.
Yeah, 10 paces. Doot. There we go.
Nice. Leo, your turn is next.
I'm gonna rage, and then come to this guy, and use the divine smite and attack him
Okay.
Spicy hammer time.
with the Chrome Anvil.
Icy hammer. The Chrome Anvil.
Nice. The Chromanville unfortunately misses the Baron.
And then I will hit him again with my extra attack.
Probably should have gone.
Oof.
Probably should have gone reckless.
Yep.
Oh well.
Yep. If a 15 missed, a 14 also misses. Alexis, it is your turn.
Okay. What is the size of this? It is
Big.
It is big. You are correct. All right, so radius of 30.
I guess I also just want to confirm we're not still underwater, right?
No,
We
this.
are.
I guess I'm right, and Dax is also right. We are still at the bottom of the ocean, but this coral palace has been specifically created to be a breathable oxygen environment for the arrival of Queen Gwendolyn.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna cast Sickening Radiance at this radius. It should be 30. It should cover everything in this zone.
Where's
Half of the room.
where's the crowd relative to where everything else is?
Basically, any of these like frost white tiles is where there are onlookers.
So in the back?
Mhm.
Okay. I'd like to make sure we are not hitting innocents.
Yeah, that's why I'm hitting it like right here. So it's 30, so it's not hitting anything, and then it hits this Baron right here, and then it's all these right here.
Sweet. What spell? I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
I should probably do this. Sorry,
You said Sickening Radiance?
Yeah.
I did. This one.
Constitution save. We'll start with the two barons.
Wow.
Dang.
I guess better use it there than on an attack roll.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So all of the goons are going to take full damage. The priestesses will take full damage, and the barons take half damage.
And
So
everybody that's taking full damage is taking a level of exhaustion.
nice. Is it really only 13 damage?
Bad roll. 8-3-1-1.
Oh wow. Just making sure I was reading that right.
You're good.
Technically happens when they start their turn there.
Oop, I didn't mean to do that.
Close enough.
I didn't mean to.
Uh,
I didn't mean to cast it again.
all of the lesser Sawagan are instantly destroyed. Your greenish light spreads, making them so sick they start spewing up, like black bile, coughing, hacking until they drop on the ground, convulsing. Eventually, all just silently dead.
Do we get a? Considering it's a 10-minute concentration, do we get a mark on the field for that, or?
I can put something out.
I mean, just so we remember that it's there. To be honest.
What I got? Was it a 20-foot radius?
30.
30, 30. It was decidedly less convenient.
I'm sure I just like spooked the Sawagan people and just like, what the fuck? There you go.
Nice.
Just as I envisioned.
Get wrecked. Kel, it is your turn. Sorry, Alexa, do you want to move?
No, I think I'm good where I'm at.
Then it is Kel's turn.
Okay, I'm going to move there. You know what? I'm just gonna shoot for the moon on this one, and we're gonna see what happens. I need Undyne to make a charisma saving throw for me.
1 second. What are you attempting to cast?
Banishment.
What level is that?
4.
The spell begins to take shape around her. I see it forming like a spectral cage. And she snaps one of her clawed fingers, and it shatters, the spell effect becoming just residual dust that falls to the ground.
I was wondering if that
She
was what was
has
going to happen.
cast one use of her legendary resistance.
Oh. Cool.
Oh, you have move
Just-
and bonus. Yeah.
Just to spite her, because Kel is kind of mad.
You bitch.
You fucking dick. And commands their last skeleton to fire an arrow at Undyne.
Just cause.
That should be normal, so it should be a 10.
The 10 misses.
Yeah.
It shoots wide, hitting into the headpiece of the chair behind her. Any move?
Nope, I'm right where I want to be.
Reed.
Hiding behind my queen.
Yeah. I mean, protecting.
Quick question. This. Wait, wrong. There we go. This pillar right here, is that actually blocking my view? Like, can I
It is floor to ceiling.
attack.
So that giant or that baron there has 3/4 cover.
So if I were to move like here, would that be acceptable?
I would still say that that's a quarter cover. You'd have to basically draw an unimpeded line between you and him for no cover bonus, but quarter cover is only +2 to his AC.
No, I don't want that.
I don't want that.
I respect that.
You know what? So like, would that be better? Or is that still the same thing?
I think for you to be unimpeded, you would need to be able to draw a line of effect. Oh, damn it. Goddamn turn tracker. So he's here. You see how this line touches nothing of the pillar or something in this range. Unfortunately, from where you are, I think unless you were way up in this corner, there's no way he's not going to get at least some cover from that pillar.
Well, if I say like the pillars here, it's only covering that one square, so it's not actually covering these two as well, right?
That's fair.
Okay, then I will come here, putting myself a little closer, but at the same time, yeah, I'm gonna stay there, and I'm gonna launch some Sun Soul Radiant Sunbolts at that Baron dude. And then key point for more.
Okay. The first two miss. The second two hit. I feel like that happens a lot to you. 15 points of radiant damage. It's like throwing fire at the sun. I don't know. It says it's sickly radiant. I don't know what actual sun radiance does to that. It creates little moored clouds, maybe. Patches of his sickly radiance are like temporarily purified by your radiant sunbolt, leaving sort of sun glistened cloud patches in the royal.
Did we kick off the board?
I can.
Thanks.
At initiative 10, Undine grabs Sinara with the two front tentacles of her octopus lower half body and begin to strangulate her, while with her upper torso humanoid hands grasps the benthic core.
Uh-oh.
Zaz, it is your turn.
Buzz. Dang. I knew that initiative was bad news. But you know what? No. Right now, protecting the queen is most important, and not just being cowardly. For now, Zaz is going to fall back, and nobody's taking a lot of damage. I'm scared to cast big damage spells, and also everything else. Zaz is going to go back to us. We haven't done this in a long time. You know what Zaz is going to do? Zaz is going to call out a fog cloud.
Ooh. Got a lot of cloud effects happening up in this bitch.
That's right. Drop 20-foot radius cloud effectively right on the queen, just to give her cover. Like, nobody can see her, nobody can target her, anybody else on our team can chill in the fog cloud.
Bigger.
It's a 20-foot radius? That's 10. That's 10. It needs to be bigger. It needs to be that big.
I thought it was diameter, sorry.
It's his radius.
Rududius.
I'm bigger.
Is that close?
Yeah, that's good enough.
That's 15, but
I'm gonna say
there.
I'm gonna say we're there.
Also, Ariel's getting bigger. Oh, nice. She went back to normal size.
It's tricky sometimes.
Oh, why is that so big?
Because he was in the expansion overlap.
He's like, bigger.
Expansion.
Zaz suddenly becomes a large monster.
Did we want to include Alexis in the fog?
Yeah, let's drop that down one.
All right. Any other actions? Bonus or move from Zez? I guess you are moving.
His bonus action, he's going to move over to here to finish the circle, and his bonus action is going to be to shout, "Save the queen! Protect the queen!"
Man, I hope this doesn't fuck up the peace talks.
Well,
Listen, we are not the ones who fucked it up.
We need to save this Sawagan as well. If we can. Protect the 2/3 of the triumvirate.
All right. First, we're going to have a couple of attacks against Leo. The
Couple.
Sawagan foot soldiers will make 2 spear attacks.
Dang.
They both hit, a total of 7. Sorry, so you have 5 to 2, and you have 2 to 1.
So
Not terribly
3.
impressive. 3 total damage.
Okay.
The Baron will make an attack against you. They tend to
Dang.
hit quite a
We're
bit
rolling so
harder.
high.
I will start with my trident, and then I will bite. Actually, no, I'm gonna go 2 claws bite.
Miss.
Something better action
Miss.
economy. Fuck.
Nice.
Nice.
0
No
damage.
damage.
Why is it doing this shit? It happened in my other game too this week, where for some reason certain weapons were just not rolling damage. 6 damage. You have that to 3.
Oh no.
Jezza, 3 of the foot soldiers attack you. Double spears each. I think that's all misses. Yeah.
Oh, that's Firefox. 17, yeah.
All misses. I will Baron attack Reed. Bite, claw, or claw, bite. Wow. Does the 17 hit?
Sorry, miss hit. Yes, 17 hits.
7 points of damage.
Understood.
And the yellow marked priestess heals this Baron.
How dare you?
Rude.
They're gonna just advance to the perimeter of the fog cloud, but not venture in. And this person is gonna come up here, right about here, meow. What happens if I end my turn in your effect?
It's
You roll it
starts-
again.
No, it starts turn in the effect. Is actually how it's worded.
That is.
So we just rolled the damage prematurely.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
So in the
I
next
will-
turn that he does, it's going to go again.
Right.
I will keep you honest on this one try.
Thanks. At initiative 0,
Oh no.
we have Calypso attempt to get in between the fight, the conflict between Undine and Sonara, telling her to release Sonara immediately. She is the eldest, and Undine grows larger in size, demonstrably, visibly swells in size like a pufferfish, and her normal, like hardened white eyes, like that nictating membrane of a shark, rolls over black and fumes, like a roiling darkness starts to leach out of her eyes, and she says, "I serve only one, and he is beyond all of you." And just a giant black tentacle roils up out of the ground, wrapping Calypso up in it and binding her to the coral stone. She
Oh.
continues to choke the life out of Sonara, while clutching the benthic core close to her breast. It is Jez's turn at the start of round number 2.
Can Jezza see any of this happening?
No,
With
you just hear Undine's voice booming that she serves something more powerful than all of them.
Okay. Huh. I have an idea. I don't know if. Hmm. That's beyond, but I'd have to go up and
You have 3
around.
things attacking you.
Yeah, but
He's 1 key point away from infinite freedom.
That is fair.
it's a
I
bonus
just felt it
action.
should be mentioned.
Yeah.
And actually, Jezza, you might see the very top of Undine's head appear over the massive cloud that was spawned.
I have an idea. Try. It will
Okay.
require Leo's help, however.
Fastball special.
It might be the fastball special.
Oh boy, let's do it.
I think Leo is about as far away from you as is Undine.
No, I'm a little closer.
The thing is I would have to use a key point, which counts as my bonus action to go to her in normal distance, and that would also involve moving through the cloud, which I would lose total vision, and I have to use my bonus action as disengage to not get opportunity attacked by 3 dudes.
Oh, that makes sense.
So here's my thought. And I'll play this out here for you. Try. My idea is that Jezza disengages. She moves swiftly along the floor, calls out to Leo. Leo gives me the fastball special, which is as he's fighting these guys, and on the back side of the swing, I hop the manville and use it to throw myself at Undine, specifically trying to knock the benthic core out of her hand. Because I don't think I, in any way, shape, or form, have the ability to do damage to her, truthfully.
Okay. It will require Leo's action to do that, so you'll have to wait for Leo's turn to see if any of it happens. And you're going to delay your action to be an attempt to grapple Undine. Benthic core.
Yeah, I was more thinking the idea it would be a strike with the quarterstaff, like a large sweep kind of thing, knock it out of her hand. Does that, Leo? Do you like that idea? Do we
Yeah,
like
that's
this
fine.
idea as a group? I guess.
Do we think that's what's causing her to get bigger and be more powerful?
Possibly.
All right. In between turns, can I ask to do something potentially?
You can ask. I don't.
Can I check to see if the Amardalan is glowing or not?
It had not been prior to this. In the heat of combat, you may not have the opportunity to peek inside your knapsack, but when you guys got back and everybody was putting gear on and off, I assumed you might have checked on it then, and at that point, it was still inert.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we're gonna go fastball special. So Jezza burns her bonus to disengage, moves to Leo's space, and waits for Leo's action.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, Leo, it is your turn.
So is this going to take a full action
Yep,
throwing her?
the action will be throwing her.
Okay. And is that just a strength check?
I'd like you to make an athletics check. Yeah, if you're not
Okay.
proficient, then it is just strength.
Athletics. Let's go. Oof.
Oof.
I'm rolling terrible
Yeah,
tonight.
this is about as well as this plan should have gone.
Jezza, you leap on the manville, having rehearsed this move probably once or twice before with Leo. I know you guys have successfully implemented it once before. and he does the Happy Gilmore swing with you on the manville, and at the apogee of its power, you leap off of it. You are going very, very fast. So fast, in fact, that you're having a hard time where you're going. You get to about here, and it becomes pretty evident that you're about to smack into the central portion of this chair at high speed. You have a delayed action. I will allow you to make, if you wish, a dexterity saving throw, which will prevent you from being thrown into that chair and taking manville damage from his attack. Or you can land in the chair and try to execute whatever you were going to do at disadvantage.
I have a counter proposal for you, Tribe. Would you
Go.
consider the damage I'm about to take falling damage?
Not falling in the sense that it's going to be based on distance traveled because you have velocity. I don't know what you're thinking.
I have slow fall as a monk ability, which is I can reduce when you fall, you reduce any falling damage you take by the amount equal to 5 times your monk level. Could
That's
I,
flavorful. I like that, yeah.
as a reaction? Sorry, it's a reaction. My idea being like, could I use my reaction, which is, as I understand it, because I'm bad at D&D, separate from my actual action, to effectively like as I'm going too fast, I like. You know how people know when they're coming out of a dive or they're coming out of a jump, you have to roll to reduce your speed and your safety? Could I do a thing where I know I have to land perfectly on the wall, so as I hit the wall, I like splay my legs out, brace with my hand, and I like. If you've seen that scene from Advent Children where Tifa gets like thrown to the wall and like braces her impact, like that from the church fight scene, I want to do that with Jezza effectively.
Yeah, 100%. I love the way that flavors out. The 50 feet of falling movement should be plenty enough to arrest Leo's velocity, but he just chucks you so hard you overshoot your target, and then you Tifa shock absorb into the wall behind, looking dapper as fuck, but not quite what you had planned.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume I'm like, oh, that's not mover. I'm like pasted. I'm pasted right there on the upper side of the chair. I want to use my action to attempt to like push off the wall and strike the core out of Undine's hand.
I'm gonna need an athletics or acrobatics, whichever you prefer. Or excuse me, no, it is athletics to, and then it's my choice. But you're gonna be making that athletics at disadvantage.
Okay, sorry. Say that one more time. I heard athletics or acrobatics.
No, the defender of a grapple makes their choice. You have to initiate with that. So you're making athletics at disadvantage.
Oh God. Oh no.
You can do it.
We
Part of
believe
the
in you.
cards.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Oh no!
Oh,
This plan is going exactly as bad as it should.
Fuck.
yep.
All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. You
Oof.
lunge at her, trying to get to the benthic core. You actually get one hand on it, and it starts to come loose. And for a brief moment, you think you've turned the tide of this battle for sure, until you feel the cold grasp of one of her head tentacles wrap around your neck, and before you know what's happening, it's reeled you up in the ground and then slammed you hard onto the core, just slamming you into it so much that the air leaves your lungs. You expel, you can feel bones break as you take 28 points of thunder damage. That was Leo's turn. It is Alexis and Kel's on deck.
With that fabulous thing, I don't know what to do.
Trying my best.
Would have been awesome.
Yeah.
You're trying your best to play a game of Mousetrap.
And honestly, I know it didn't work, but it was still pretty fucking cool.
It
was pretty fucking cool.
Listen, I have always been a proponent that cool stuff is better than efficient stuff.
I'm gonna do infestation on the blue brute. I have to do a constitution, so.
Fortunately, that's Oh, I was gonna say that's one of my good ones, but it's
Not
contagious.
anymore.
How dare you?
So you got to roll a d4 and determine where it's going to run away to.
1. North.
North,
How far do I move? 5 feet?
5 feet.
That one little square.
I know, right? I was trying to get it away from the friendly Sawagan there.
He just moved it right towards Jezza.
Hello, squishy friend. Damn you. Kel's turn, or do you have any movement, Alexis? Oh,
Oh.
actually, I'm not sure you can see him through the fog.
Can I not see through the fog?
I can't think of a compelling reason why you would be able to.
Yeah, it's not magical darkness.
That's true. I take that back. I guess I just move here and I don't do anything. Please continue.
Fair enough.
Oh no.
Kel's turn then.
Is it reasonable to assume that Kel heard what's going on stage with Calypso?
You definitely heard her like maniacal ranting. Yeah.
Okay. Kel is going to see if they can help, because I think helping Calypso will help us. So, assuming Kel can make it over here, and is going to. Are the tentacles something that I can easily dispel with Dispel Magic, or something that will be difficult to dispel with Dispel Magic?
Give me one moment.
As in, like, automatic, or I have to roll for it?
It is going to be something you have to roll for.
Okay.
But I believe, like, you feel pretty confident that you can do it on a good day. You don't sense it as being this is an impossible spell.
Unless you roll a 1.
That is true. There's been a lot of that tonight.
I have a terrible idea.
There's
Do it.
also no shortage of those.
I don't want to hear it. Just do it.
We're going straight for this is going to get weird. Kel's going to eat the tentacle.
Like, bite it? Or trying to consume it with the mask?
Trying to consume it with the mask.
Okay. I need you. Oh, let's see. Unexpected.
I'm sorry, I
I don't
pulled
hate
that
it.
one.
I'd like you to make a charisma saving throw.
Fair enough. Oof. Mm.
I like it.
Okay.
You no one can see this except Jezza, I think is what's about to happen here.
Yep.
Jezza, Kel walks through the cloud emerging just in front of you right next to Calypso as you're trying to like pick your battered body up out of the crater. You see Kel approach the tentacles that are holding Calypso, and Kel's mask mouth like disgorges, dropping the jaw lower than her human mouth or their human mouth would allow, and you hear a sputtering language that sounds guttural and alien. It gives you goosebumps to listen to. It sounds entirely otherworldly, issue forth from Kel's personage, and they literally lean in and start taking ravenous bites out of this magical tendril until it starts to wither and devour, its essence literally being drawn in to the drawbridge of a mouth that is this golden mask. And once it's fully consumed the tentacle, the rest of Kel's body suddenly gets enclosed in golden armor laced in green energy, tessellating like chung 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 all down their arms and legs. So their whole body appears to be like a golden skeleton now, masking or matching the motif of that golden mask. Kel, the thing that normally happens to you when something like this happens, that sound is magnified. The experience is 10 times worse than you've ever had before, and Kel, you black out.
Well, shit. Okay.
Um, Kel, after consuming the tentacle, just moves on to the next closest living thing that's not you, Jezza, and grabs it right around the thighs with their outstretched hands and just begins leeching life energy out of it, fully enervating this massive Sawagan brute into a withered husk of a thing, almost vampirically draining all of its essence.
Damn.
Once they
Um,
are done touching it, it is literally just like dried leather wrapped across skeletal remains.
Well, that's
And
only mildly horrifying.
tilting her head back, she coughs out like sort of a black cloud of debris and dust, and then speaks more in infernal words. They rattle around the hall, putting everyone at unease. And Leo, you get a dark sense of alien dread. Something about Kel is now completely unrecognizable to you and provocatively evil.
Oh
holy
no.
shit.
I'm helping, I swear.
I mean, so far, yeah.
Reed, it's your turn.
You chose this path.
You know, it's been a fun knife blade to tread, and thank you, Try, for giving me this challenge.
um, Reed is definitely audibly aware of what's happening, but he's definitely focused on the Baron in front of him, and with a key word whispered under his breath, he activates his Eldritch Tattoo, and then directly attacks the Baron in front of him.
Go. 22 hits. 13 not so much. 17 good. 16 good. That's
Right?
75% success.
Yeah, I like. With everything I hit, I have to roll an extra d6 of damage, so just keep that in mind.
You keep that in mind.
All right. Shit. I can math.
That is 38.
10, 20, 30. Yeah, 38.
Nice. Rapid fury of blows from your shadow talons start ripping him to shreds. He takes like a, dropping to one knee suddenly like, oh, how did that happen? Such a small thing. You're used to being underestimated, but it's always fun to see. Any
You like
other
being me.
movements or bonuses? No, I guess
Um,
bonuses for your attack. You have
there is no more
Yeah.
bonus action. My movement is I'm simply going to stand my ground and try to appear intimidating as my tattoo's like squirming around him.
Yes, I cast Come At Me, Bro.
Fuck yeah. I mean, heck yeah.
At initiative 10, there's a slight whimpering sound and a bone-chilling crack as Undine's tentacles wrap so tightly around Sonara, it has shattered her spine.
Oh
The
no.
Elder Queen of the Triune can only let out a small whimpering cry, and in that moment, Undine's talons begin to wrap around herself, not unlike water circling a drain, and she vanishes with the benthic core in hand. The next thing that happens, as soon as the benthic core is no longer in this structure, the entire building begins to rattle and shake and start coming apart. Pieces are collapsing down around you, and the water is starting to rush back in. Things look very, very grim. Zaz, you're the first person who's going to get a reaction in this turn. What do you want to do?
Well, the first thing that's going to happen is this cloud's going to go away, It served its purpose.
It was a
Uh,
great
Look, it's great for temporary line of sight protection. But that cloud goes away, and suddenly things look really, really, really bad. Okay, so for reaction, are we talking like
full
action
turn.
to take, or okay, still
Yep.
take turn? Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Assessing the situation very quickly. The most urgent thing is that everything that's happening on the throne. So Zaz is going to jump up this ledge. Good job, Boots, of springing and striding.
Boing boing.
I'm gonna assume Zaz can see that there's no life left in the eldest.
Doesn't she get a saving throw?
I mean, in the same way that Eris probably didn't get a saving throw, if we're doing dumb Final Fantasy references.
Nice.
Sometimes a cinematic just murders someone. So, seeing that she is almost certainly just dead, the next step is to cast life transference over here and try and get Jezza back on her feet. And at that point, you said this was starting to sound unstable.
Yes.
Yeah, now the shout used to be protect the queen. Now the shout is, we got to get out of here. But higher pitch.
But a higher pitch. Love it.
Except for maybe Kel, who is full mech monster mode.
That's actually
36 to Jezza.
Yep, that's 36 healing. And 18 damage.
I lived, bitch.
I do love that spell.
Yeah, me too.
I don't even need to use my action to heal myself now.
At initiative 0, Amara moves to basically fill the space where you were sort of protecting the queen before. She steps in and, panicking, looking at the water suddenly rush in and it all rising, the queen panicking. She just puts her two hands on Sir Eric and Gwendolyn and looks knowingly at Alexis, a person that she's had a previous, couple of conversations with, and just says, I can only take two, and disappears.
Honestly, good.
Yeah.
At this point, the building just comes down around you. There is no escaping it as you try to swim in the water around it. This massive coral stronghold is just collapsing in on itself, and in very short order you find yourselves just being pressed down, sort of forcefully crushed underneath debris, both by dead bodies and the collapsing portions of this structure. A combination of Ariel and Malenti are at the bottom trying to conjure a spell. They need Calypso's help, but Calypso will not let go of Sonara's dead corpse. And it looks like everything's going to crap. The two mages are able to create a small protective bubble, and as the debris starts piling up on it, it seems like it's starting to strain under the weight. You can see it start to, like, spiderweb fracture and crack. And we're going to take our break right here.
Jeez.
Everybody take a quick bio, and we'll talk about what's up next as soon as everybody gets back.
No, I did hear that.
did.
I was imagining some, like, just honestly in the future, it's like, yep, Undine turned into a black smoke tentacle monster and killed the Queen of Pendilor. Welcome to the post-apocalypse.
And also, Kel consumed everything else.
Yeah, you're over there kind of consuming stuff there, bud.
Yeah, I really needed to fix something.
Do
Hopefully we
have
get out of
anybody
this.
back?
I'm so bummed that she died.
Dee-dee-dum-boom.
I think we're all here.
Cool.
Lab, you
then we
here?
have-
Shamey? Lav? You here,
I'm
bud?
here.
Oh, you're here? Okay, good. Just making sure.
Before we pick back up, we may run a few minutes late tonight. Is that going to be all right with everybody?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
It's not like I have to work tomorrow or anything.
Do you have to work tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Every
sorry.
day.
Actively have to work tomorrow after several days of basically calling out for ice. I have no excuse tomorrow. All the ice is going away.
We might run a little late.
I put in my 40 hours this week. I'm done.
All right. Yeah, we sort of left in the moment of collapse. Basically, it's a black wash. We fade to light, some of you coming to consciousness at the bottom of the ocean floor, trapped under the protective shell that Malenti and Ariel are still struggling to maintain. It is all but dark except for the arcane energy being, glowing off of their spell. You can see the shadowy reflections of the party members and a few civilians that were saved from the collapse. It is difficult to know what happened outside of your safety bubble here, but it seems grim.
Understatement.
You are all struggling to deal with the emotional weight of what you've experienced, and as each of you comes to consciousness, you struggle to understand exactly how much time has passed, because the two Sawagan sorceresses seem quite strained, like they've been doing this for a while. Looking around, the rest of your party is now fully aware, fully conscious, and Kel has resumed their mostly normal-ish form. The helm still remains, but the tessellated body armor has retracted into the helm. This is also the point in time where I'd like you guys to level up.
Silver
Nice.
linings.
So
How
take
much XP do we need?
do
We
this
don't
as
need any.
quickly as possible. Remember, we found the button.
There's a button, so you don't need the XP.
Oh,
What if I want the XP?
There is.
yeah, I want the XP.
48,000.
Thank you.
Make you use the button.
I think mine's broken since I've multi-classed.
That is possible.
Because it's still saying I'm level 6, and I'm pretty sure I'm not level 6. I think we're already level 7.
I think we're already level 8, are we not?
Yeah, we are becoming level 9.
Level
Yeah.
8. Yep.
We're coming
Ooh.
level 8, or we're coming level 9?
Level 9.
Okay.
Becoming level
You
9.
should be becoming level 8 because you multi-classed.
I'm becoming level 9.
Rolled
But yeah, my thing says I'm level
and got an
6.
8.
I'm sorry, my thing doesn't work the same way your guys' does. How much experience was it?
48,000.
There we go.
Yeah, it doesn't show your. You look at it, Fubarius, you see that it's telling you you're level 6 barbarian, and then below that red line, you're also.
Okay.
So you'd be clicking the average for the paladin HD, unless of course you're going to go back into barbarian.
No, I'm going back. I'm doing paladin. I'm going to choose an oath.
Nice.
Got to read these oaths, though.
can we do a bit of multitasking?
I can.
A
I'm
chance
done.
people won't be able to listen while I'm talking.
I'm good to go.
The as you come to, you see that Calypso is still cradling their elder. You she may have nearly unlimited power, but Calypso can do nothing to return life to the fallen elder. You wonder if that's like a limitation of their power, or maybe it's just something to do with the natural order of things, the way they ask for magic rather than force it. That there's nothing that can be done from her perspective. And you can hear her cursing Undine and her army of Dagani. The word doesn't translate. Previously, she's been using, her and Ariel and everybody have been using a comprehend languages spell, so that everything is translated back and forth, so that you guys speak the same language. But the word Dagani doesn't have a common translation.
Um, Reed would offer up his condolences in the moment in the only gesture he knows how, and that would be a simple one, just a hand on shoulder.
She nods and uses like, just thank you, she says in common, understanding your gesture. Slowly, while you guys are talking about things, you can feel a shift in her personality and kind of in the temper of everybody in this protective sphere, from idle complacency to anger to rage to incredulity. She says, Undine made a mistake in leaving us alive. I'm going to kill her.
By our powers combined.
She nods at you and says that it is perhaps ironic that Undine's greatest wish was that we would never interact with those of the surface world. However, in this horrible attack of cowardice, she will in fact unite us. For now, we have a common foe.
Side piece. My hit points are now 69.
Nice. I remember when I had
Nice.
69 HP.
That-
It's great.
Are you a mage? How do you have this much HP?
I have
Then-
60.
I've been rolling well.
Thanks,
What
Tron.
the fuck?
I have 60.
I'm over here going like, man, I almost have 40.
Dang. I had 40 when I started.
This is what I get for having a negative con modifier.
Yeah,
Had to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a +3 con.
Yeah, fair enough. Doesn't matter. I'm a goblin. Woo!
How do you have so much health when I'm a sickly little child?
What? I am not sickly. I am rambunctious and
I have
am
a plus.
gremlin.
I have a +4 Constitution modifier.
While you guys are gathering your strength and listening to Calypso talk and Malenti talk, you see that Ariel is silent. She seems, I don't know, like the cat that ate the canary.
I'm going to go up and talk to Ariel and see what I can do to comfort her.
In D&D, when you level up, do you basically, like in all other games, just get all your resources back?
That is not a feature of leveling up. However, we are going to count the time you spent unconscious at the bottom of the bubble as a rest.
Is that a long rest?
Hmm.
Okie dokie.
Try before we get into the conversation. The bubble is still not doing great.
It
Yeah.
is. That is true.
I would like to. Zaz would offer his assistance in maintaining the bubble through a creative use of the create and destroy water spell.
Okay.
And just like maybe it doesn't even work, but he's going to try and help by shoring up holes and like destroying the water as he can.
I like that. Yeah. Every place there's like a little spider web taking pressure off of the immediate area by destroying the water right on its surface.
Mhm.
I like that. Kind of almost looks like a welding torch in the palm of your hand, just kind of mending the spider cracks as you chase one fissure to the next.
Yeah,
It looks
and we'll just
chaotic, but you're helping.
a really bizarre water ritual.
Kel, make a persuasion roll, just as you're kind of comforting Ariel to be that genuine, caring self that you can sometimes be.
See if that's today. It is not.
Jeez.
The skull mask
Sorry, your
doesn't
grandma's
help.
dead.
I might have said something nice, but like you can't see my face,
Yeah,
and like
oh, it's
it's
true.
really hard to understand like without the facial expression.
Like in the tenor of some kind of extraplanar robot.
Yes.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Ah!
She tells you that she appreciates what you're doing, but there's no words that can come that she's lost both her leader and a person she's known her whole life that cared greatly for her, one of her many teachers. She's suffering greatly, and she's worried that this will be the end of the armistice for sure. And she's worried now because her people are so weak and so vulnerable, and now without leadership, that the surface dwellers will have no problem finishing them all off.
Well, if there's nothing that I can say, can I just sit here with you for a while?
She nods yes, and you notice that as you sort of put your hand on top of hers comfortingly, you catch Malenti smiling at the action.
Aw.
The while Zaz is dancing back and forth, sort of mending all these cracks in the bubble by destroying the water that's causing just a little bit too much pressure in each of those moments. He's just exhaustively running back and forth, trying to shore up our defenses. Amidst all of that chaos, uh, Calypso says that she fears what might be done with the benthic core, and how she's frustrated at being stuck at the bottom of the ocean and unable to exact her revenge now. She says that Undine was dishonest about many things, and she fears what she will do with that much. But that she almost certainly knows where she's gone.
Where has she gone?
The three remaining Sawagan women exchange a knowing glance and decide sort of unilaterally that there's no in hiding anything from this point. And she says they're headed to a weapons design facility called the Crucible. It sits atop an active volcano, a subaquatic volcano. The geothermal power fuels this facility. It is home to some of the greatest weapons Dean has ever created in service of our people, and perhaps a weapon she was told not to create.
Would you like to elaborate on the not create part?
She said before we sent forces to attack the coastline, we had devised a first strike weapon.
Oh.
The Council, the Triune, had resolved not to use it, and that its creation alone was too dangerous, that it was a step too far for us, and Undine's request was denied. But I can't imagine what else she would need something as powerful as the Benthic Core for.
What does this first strike weapon do?
She describes it as the Diluvian Weir, and says that it is literally an aperture between this world and the elemental plane of water.
Well, that's
A,
not
Oh.
great.
a one-way passage she demonstrates by drawing sigils in the air that create like sort of three-dimensional animatics. A spigot, if you will, that once turned on will never stop running
Oh no.
until your world became our world.
A
Going to
water
flood all
world.
the lands.
That's
She says that
exciting.
she herself was shamed that someone as enlightened as Undine could contrive of such a weapon. But she understands now that she was likely swayed by her Dagani.
Dagani?
She like checks the spell at her wrist that has been translating and says again, Dagani. But your quizzical looks convince her that it's not translating. You're not understanding her words. She further elaborates, trying to explain it to you in common parlance. A group of people who have sworn fealty and oath to a power, to an idea, a being, a malevolence, a patron.
Her patron, old god.
What if her patron was my patron?
What if they're the same one?
What if what if her
On
patron
top.
what if her patron is the patron that I'm trying to avoid?
Who knows? Who can say?
She says that several of the Sawagan people, maybe 1% of the population, gave up on their god, whose name is Sokolith, and instead began worshipping something in the deep. They call it the hunger, or the deep dweller, or the darkness. But it offered power to some of them. She herself has never seen or interacted with this being, but they claim that it lives at the heart of this world.
Is it also known as Nazoth?
She tells you that the Dagani whisper to Undine, trying to advise her of a best course of action. And after what she saw in the throne room, it would seem as though Undine has allowed that influence to spread to herself. That the dark master that she serves is likely this hunger, which makes her unpredictable and dangerous. Which is something you guys already knew.
Kel, out of an amount of curiosity, is going to want to check and see if the hunger that they're talking about is in any way related to the thing that lives in their head.
Let's have just a quick side chat.
Yeah.
Privy. Where the hell is it? Let's go to the Do Not Disturb channel.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, screw them.
I seriously
so-
want to go over to Ariel and like
While they're
pep talk
having
her
their
up.
sidebar, do any of you know how Channel Divinity works?
Yes,
Nope.
Can you explain it to me?
you get effectively channel divinity points. And
Okay.
you can use your channel divinity points to do cool stuff. I think I got my second one at second level, where like I have 2 actions as a cleric. I can either use Channel Divinity to turn undead, or to use my my Tempest domain power.
Okay.
Looking at the cleric list, I get 1 Channel Divinity at 2nd level. So I don't know what Paladin looks like, but
Yeah, I don't. Where does it show you your like points you have for Channel Divinity?
it's just as on the cleric like 1 through 20th level charts. One of the
Okay.
things that it shows you is at 2nd level, your feature is Channel Divinity, 1 per rest.
Okay. I will look at
Dang, I
the
don't get
Paladin
more
one
of those for forever. That sucks.
because I got some pretty cool Channel Divinity. I just don't know how it works.
Yeah.
So
Let me also get to your thing. I don't
yeah,
see that same thing on your list, and that's a little confusing.
yeah. Maybe I'll ask Try now that he's back.
Sure, go.
Channel Divinity. How many like uses do I have per
I
rest?
think 1 plus charisma modifier. Oh no, just 2, just 2.
Just 2.
I
Okay.
think 2. I think it used to, at one point in the playtest materials it was proficiency bonus times per day, but I think it is literally just hard set at 2.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
can
because some of
confirm
these are like pretty damn good.
after this, but I would say 99% sure.
Yeah, your Channel Divinity just works completely different than mine. And I'm not jealous. I'm just bitter, angry, and wish ill on people.
Maybe you should play the Paladin
No.
and less healing.
We started this campaign with 8 people and no tanks or healers. I had to pick one.
I developed into
Enemies
a tank.
can't hurt us if they're dead.
It's true. It's true.
Big hammer strat.
All right, while yes, everybody's having side conversations, and while that is happening, you from the outside of your sphere hear like the resonant blast of a horn.
Well, that's weird. And this is how we die.
Maybe you only get it once. I think paladins get it, or clerics get it twice. But it looks like you only get it once, but it resets short and long rest.
Okay.
All right. Deep resonating horn outside. The 3 Sawagan priestesses, ears peaked, like start looking through the darkness, and some of the debris begins to be pushed away. And in fairly short order, you can see
Sorry.
what would charitably be described as 1.5 of those coral ships, the coral skippers, towing debris aside. There's less than a dozen armed Sawagan who have come to aid Calypso and want to know that, they side with the Triune and the rightful leadership and want to know how they can help.
So it turns out Undine is evil. That's a start.
Speaking through the shield, your voices are like slightly like it causes that sort of like weird reverberation distortion effect. But they nod knowingly that they agree with you. Undine has gone too far. She has overstepped. We are here to serve. How can we help? Calypso looks at you and says, I plan to go after her, but 2 coral skippers and half a squad does not a strong showing make. Will you join me?
Yeah.
Most certainly.
I have unfinished business with Undine.
Same.
Then she
Mhm.
asks everyone present who's willing to participate to join her in making the first pact between our two people. And she summons a small rotating sigil of glowing blue energy, and there's like a place for each person to indent a finger on a rune as it circles. Basically like signing a contract. It's swearing fealty to this fellowship.
Of the ring?
That we will have, she says that we will have glorious victory or we will have glorious death.
Are we going to Mount Doom?
You have something that can be thrown into the fire.
I do. It's on my head though. I'll sign it.
Same.
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 Anybody not going to? Nice. With that, she waits until the safety sphere is sort of extracted from the rubble. You guys can see this whole house of cards came toppling down. You're standing in rubble like almost 30 feet deep. The two coral skippers safely extract you, and they finally, exhaustively, oh god, let the bubble go. Just arms drooping at their sides, visibly just spent from having to channel a spell for that long.
Mm-hmm.
And they are given seats on the two coral skippers, but there's like, suburban ride-on rails for people to hang on to. And they ask you if there's any additional preparations, if there's anybody you need to inform, because this might be the last chance you'll ever get to speak to someone.
I cast Mage Armor.
Well done.
We should notify our queen of our intentions.
In kind, I will also cast Mage Armor, just a heads up.
Nice. For a while, I thought you guys were casting on each other.
We were.
I cast it on myself.
Do you want her
Uh,
to send the message, or is one of you going to send a message? And then Zell, you've got something, or Zaz,
Yeah.
excuse me.
As those two are mage armoring each other,
Ooh.
Zaz has a sudden revelation, leaps a couple feet into the air, and just backhands Kel with a Dispel Evil and Good.
Damn it, Naz. I was gonna go eat Undine.
Amazing. The there's a crack of thunder even underwater as you invoke this incredibly potent magical effect. A bolt of lightning streaking presumably from the heavens reaches you all the way down here at the bottom of the ocean floor, striking your hand moments before it makes contact with the side of Kel's face, transferring all of that potential divine energy into the helm itself. A tethered beam of lightning from the sky through 300 feet of seawater, boiling it as it goes, channels, holding Kel affixed to the floor of the ocean. Kel, would you rather me narrate what happens privately, or would you like it made public?
Please make it public. I think this would be great.
Okay. The helm is hot. It starts to burn. Like you can smell burning hair, and you feel the heat of the lightning. You can also sense like Zaz's presence and intention is pure and curative, but all the less, this is exceedingly painful. The helmet is resisting you, and during this, you can hear an ever rising cacophony of drum beating. It started slow and distant, and now it's rapid and just in your ears, pounding. It's shaking your eyeballs, and you can hear the voice of Romani the Warlock tell you, "Are you sure this is what you want?" This decision will be both costly and permanent. Consider it.
The costs that you ask are too great. I cannot accept them. I must be free.
He begs with you one more time. Before it sounded threatening, and now it's closer to pleading. Reconsider, coward. There's so much power at your fingertips.
There is more than one kind of power, and I would rather seek it a different way.
While begging, one last attempt. If you do this, Volk, the rapacious one, god of greed and avarice, shall mark you as an apostate. You will never know peace. You will never know freedom. He will find you. Do you relinquish control of the helm to the lightning, the purifying effect?
At least I will have my family.
Burn. The helm under Zaz's concentrated lightning begins to become almost molten steel, and you can hear a creak, and then suddenly, like explosive bolts, the hinges on the back of Kel's helmet, boom, 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 all shoot off, and the helm breaches at the back like a clamshell and just falls off of their face. The channeled lightning continues melting it until it is literally just a ovular pool of golden slag.
Nice.
Alexa just kind of looks at Kel and is like, "Oh, so that's what your face looks like." I forgot.
I'm going to assume that I lose the Arms of Hadar and Eldritch Blast, correct?
You do lose the warlock spells, yep.
Okay, cool. I will clean
Dang.
it.
And as soon as the lightning is done channeling through the ocean, turning this artifact into slag, you still feel a burning sensation. The
1
back
second.
of your neck feels like it's on fire.
I don't know if I have time tomorrow. I don't know how late it's going to run. Probably not too late, but if you need to go to bed, you should go to bed, and we can go to the gym tomorrow. Okay. Because I go to bed pretty much at like 10. Okay. Let's do it tomorrow.
I just got really quiet all of a sudden.
Sorry, my housemate was. I was gonna go to the gym, but since we're gonna run a little late, I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow instead.
Heck
So it's
yeah,
just
that's tomorrow's
coordinating.
problem.
Yeah.
So your neck's on fire.
Once
sucks.
the lightning is done, the back of your neck still burns. You reach back just below where your like foramen magnum is, where the skull meets the spine, and you feel hot branded flesh. As Kel lowers their head to investigate, you all see this mark has been branded like a hot iron at the base of her skull. Their skull, excuse me.
People think scars are sexy, right?
Many people I know.
Yeah, but that's not really a scar. That's more like a brand.
It's a tattoo.
It's a tattoo.
It's a tattoo.
It's a
Tattoos
tattoo.
tell an interesting story.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to see my cool tattoo?
Pretty
It's
sure it's
branded by an
pronounced-
eldritch god.
Pretty sure it's pronounced tattoo.
There.
Well done otherwise though. I really liked that, Zaz.
Mhm.
And whammy! Oh my god, he bitch slapped the evil right off of them.
It was real tempting to hold on to it so that I could use it against Undine, but I think this was the right call.
Accepting that some potential power has been lost, are we ready to move on and head towards the Crucible?
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh yes,
probably.
Mr. GM, I love this
Yeah,
idea.
let's do it.
Great.
I'm ready.
It's great, dude.
Take us.
All right then.
Man.
Oh shit. I just logged out of Roll20. I'll need 10 seconds.
I hear
10,
that doesn't help when you're trying
9.
to, navigate.
Now here's the question: what oath do you guys think I took?
The one
Oath
for
of
combat.
Vengeance for sure.
Oh, you're all wrong.
Wait, what are the
Protection.
choices of oaths?
What now?
What are the different choices for oaths?
Oh, I forgot all of them now. It's like vengeance, watcher, conqueror, ancients, glory, and then
I think you did
something
conquer.
else. Again, you're
Conquer's
wrong.
bad for a day.
Glory?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
I went with
Glory.
glory all day.
Yeah. Fucking yeah, glory.
Like, look at these tenets of glory. Of course, I went with glory. That's Leo.
All right.
That is true.
Before you, you can see what the approach to the Crucible looks like as the coral skippers glide just a few feet above the ocean floor for stealth purposes. The landscape is molten. You can feel the heat from several open fissures. Boiling seawater makes the temperature here quite pleasant. But as you approach it, you can see this dark obsidian structure with just plumes of billowing black smoke, presumably offcast from whatever thermal process powers this facility. This is the Crucible, and there is a small retinue of forces between you and the thing, between you and the structure. As you approach, they make their presence known.
We need more potions of aqueous form.
No, they bottles refilled every day.
Oh fuck, they
This is
do.
just the second day, so I guess I should have had you redrink them, but you needed to redrink them. But it's okay because you can.
We drank them while we were in the bottle, in the
I
bubbles.
drink half of mine again.
Yes. You see several of the priestesses who wear the collection of human skull fragments as necklaces. These mark them as Dagani. You can almost be certain that they are warlocks. And in their host, among their company, are those death salads from before. The Sawagan word for them is the Maw. They are called Maw, and they are apparently controlled by the Dagani.
You're
Before
telling me
you,
those death salads were you all along?
not us, but the Dagani. The Dagani control them. They sometimes seep through from the elemental plane of water, or somewhere perhaps even darker. And were that not enough, as at your approach, the death salads start to swim out to sort of to work as harriers or interveners, and one of the warlocks blows on their conch cell, alerting everything in the area to your approach, and that's when you see it from out behind the building. The massive Mount of Undine, the 100-foot-long aboleth, comes circling around the building to present itself squarely between where your two coral skippers are and the structure.
Well, that's exciting. Didn't we almost kill the aboleth?
We did.
So then you should have no problem doing it again.
That's what I'm saying.
Need to grab everybody for a second.
Hey, try.
Yes, sir.
But the Aboleth has also had a long rest and probably a level up.
How far are we from where we got the benthic core? Just out of curiosity.
You're the opposite direction several miles. I don't know, maybe 3, charitably.
If I was to go there, how many turns would that take me with the ring of swimming?
Many.
Many. Okay, ignore me then.
A number that is impractical. Hundreds.
Never mind.
Yeah, because you got to remember that a turn is like 2 or 3 seconds.
6.
6 seconds, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And you're traveling only hundreds of feet every 6 seconds.
Yeah, not worth
Today's
it.
episode of Jezza desperately trying to avoid the fight.
Yes.
In this episode of Jezza wanted to be bait for the Remoraz to lure it here. To kill the aboleth.
That is as you find it. The aboleth is rallying those forces. They intend to crash down upon you in a single assault wave. The one Coral Skipper definitely has its arcane cannon intact. The second one does not even have that. And Calypso is uncertain of what to do. She's looking for tactical guidance or some kind of hope, and says, perhaps if we laid down our lives, we could purchase you the time you need to get inside and stop Undine, or you could try to hold these creatures and I could confront Undine. I see no other way. You have one pre-combat action. Anybody want to take anything?
As an aside, apparently I know the sigil sequences of 2 destinations on the material plane that you get to determine by taking teleportation circle.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you want to tell me that now or later.
You would know for sure the Pendilor Hearthstone, in the central keep there, and realistically, you'd probably learn the Aethervale one, the Floating City of Mages. That would probably be the second most common one. But if you would rather, I'd let you say that you know the rune that you and Malenti created at the bottom of the ocean floor here in the collapsed rune city.
I think that one makes more sense for me to know, because I wanted to take this because I kind of learned it a little bit anyways.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah, the forces are barreling down upon you. Calypso's already talking about like a suicidal kamikaze attack. Anyone else have a pre-combat action?
If nobody else is going to pipe in, Zaz's going to shout out, no, take the skiffs and lure them away. Run. We'll take whatever's left.
She says that the Ultralith is faster than any of our ships, will be overtaken in seconds.
Then we should kill it.
She loves your attitude and says it will be a glorious death. As the Aboleth draws within combat range, I'd like everyone to do 2 things.
I want to
That's
tell
great. I'm already playing D&D and Final Fantasy 14 at the same time, so I'm on top of it.
I want to tell Calypso that we should
Wait,
take
what?
out the one spaghetti monster in the bottom left that has the cannon on it, and use the cannon against the big spaghetti monster. And so we should bum rush the bottom spaghetti monster.
She questions your tactics, but says she understands you to be a well-seasoned captain of the seas. She says with an inflection that makes it sound more like a question than a comment.
I just kind of just under my breath say he sure is something.
All right, the 2 things I need from everybody is to read this and roll initiative.
What is Reed
Reed.
doing?
I need you.
I'm like, I am a read.
Oh boy. This seems like final battle worthy. Oh, I don't want to be first.
Hey!
Anyone else know how to use a ballista, or just me?
check. Seems better now.
Check. Test. 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Seems like it's working now. Sorry about that. I don't know.
The fit.
Sometimes
the
if it's
fitness
logged
brand
in too
pacer
long, it
test.
just forgets that it's doing things.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
back.
I appreciate that.
So
All right.
his what was it? The thing, the synaptic static. Did that affect his charm at all?
I only had to. It's only away from attack rolls, right?
And
And
ability
check.
check.
Right, but it doesn't bolster allies' saving throws at all.
But
No.
Okay, I was just checking.
okay.
Yep. Zaz, what
But
are you doing?
But what it does do is if we attack it, it also attacks its Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration. So if you hit it, it lowers its Constitution saving throw to keep the concentration on Leo.
Well, let me start off by saying I'm guessing that there was not a long rest between slapping the mask off and this fight.
That is correct.
Yeah.
You burned your fifth.
So I had one big spell. You're welcome. Oh, this is a real best offense or best defense, good offense sort of thing, isn't it? I hate
Yep.
that. And I hate you for putting me in this position where I have to ignore possibly slapping my friend so that I can slap someone else harder. Sorry if I take just a second. I was like furiously looking at all of my spells for what might help.
No worries. Petrichor, since I know you've been away from the game a while, you're going to be up after Zaz if you want to start thinking about what you're going to do.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I gotta try and do what I can, and I can't deal with the aboleth right now, so I'm gonna trust everyone else.
That's how we died.
Instead, Zaz is just, you know what, gonna slam down on this probably not long for this world ship anyway with a big old hero destructive wave. Wow, that was not exactly what I was expecting to have happen. That's what I wanted, but they were both good. We're talking like Zaz jumps 8-10 feet up and then slams down on the prow of the ship, letting out a magnificent wave of thunder and light for all enemies within 30 feet.
Does it do both damage?
It does both.
Oh damn!
Thunder and
Radiant or necrotic.
radiant, I'm assuming, but
Just double checking. Yeah.
so
That's a lot of
just the
damage.
Baron and the Salad, right?
Yeah. I would love to have gotten the aboleth too, but I feel like jumping off the ship to do that would have been bad. Actually, we're not that far off the ground, are we?
I mean, it's also going to hit Leo.
No, you started pretty shallow when you're sinking. I would
Yeah,
say
you know what? No, Zaz is a hero. He does that exact same thing, except he heroically leaps off the ship to do it,
Okay.
making the
Oh
jump all the
shit!
cooler.
It's creatures
Oh
you choose,
shit!
so it won't hit Leo.
Yep.
Well, no. Hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You can choose Leo.
You know,
Yeah.
it is tempting. It might
What you gonna
snap him
do?
out of it, but it also could be a lot of damage.
Oh, the aboleth lost its concentration.
Oh.
I
The
think
Aboleth
this is
is saving
also-
against destructive wave.
Damn.
It also gets the minus d6 from Constitution saving throws. No, sorry, that's to maintain. Sorry.
So all three fail, so they all take the full 38. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right then.
This spell is bonkers and it's innate.
Now it's time for the mages to do some damage. Finally, I guess.
Right?
Unironically, I'm gonna keep bringing up the Constitution saving throw on the aboleth. Does that trigger that or no?
Heck yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
anytime it takes damage, he'll have to make a saving throw of half the damage taken or 10, whichever is greater. So I think half of 38 is greater than 10. I have to make a 19, and
Yep.
I get
What
a
plus
negative
the
6 to
D6?
whatever this is. Yep.
Yeah,
Do you want to just roll your 6, and then we'll make that the DC?
sure.
19 plus.
Where the hell is this? 1, 6.
Oh, it's got to be better than a 3.
Ooh. Oh.
Dang.
I tried.
Oh, that was... I rolled the wrong thing.
What?
You rolled-
I rolled the Death Salad instead of the Aboleth. So we'll keep the same roll, but his con is lower. So give me a second.
Oh my goodness. This is such a weird suspense thing.
I know, right?
Hold
No!
on. Give me-
I lost concentration. That's a total of 20. And you made the DC 21.
Wow.
Good
That
fucking going,
sucks.
Zaz.
My spell
Yeah.
help.
Spell synergy. You land with your destructive wave, like scouring the ocean floor of dirt and debris, cracking rocks, opening small lava fissures wherever it's you can watch bones crack and wounds open on the two people on the prow of the ship. And the aboleth shakes its head confused for a second as wounds open on its body, and like a small little spark of energy like arcs between Jezza and the creature, and it closes all of its compound eyes for a moment, and Leo is released
Jezza.
from enslavement.
Jezza.
Sorry, Alexis. I don't know why I get you too confused, but I do.
Nice. No
Our
one's gonna
characters are
get
best
slapped with a
friends?
chrome anvil.
Yeah, well, hopefully somebody is.
I mean, hopefully it's the enemy because I'm standing right next to you and I was really sweating. I was like,
That's why you were so interested in that con save.
no, just in general. I want him to be normal, but also.
I mean, honestly, I was gonna roll a d6 since there's 6 people on the ship.
All
Okay.
right, Petrichor, it's your turn.
Okay, so what part of the boat is missing? Like this?
Yeah, that part of it is severely damaged and taking on the chrysalis that you shelled the hull in is broken, as is some of the wooden structure itself of the boat.
None of my spells are really useful for this. The only thing I can really do, I guess, would be let's see here. Ice Storm.
Not very far.
It's got a 300 feet range and it does a 20-foot radius. So I don't know. Would it be like here? Because
Sure.
it would be around, right? Oh,
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah,
here.
I'll show you like an idea of what it looks like with a marker here.
For sure, I don't want to do more damage to the boat.
Solid idea. I agree.
Something like that.
Oh, that is huge. Okay.
And then it does 2d8, I think.
Yes.
A dexterity saving throw for two guys. Both fail, I imagine. So do you want me to roll 2d8 damage, or do you want to roll? And
How do I
4d6.
do it? Do I just click the spell?
The spell, well, it should in theory work that way. If it doesn't, there's a macro down here at the bottom left called multi-dice roll that we can get it to do with. But see if clicking the spell will give you damage input. Nice.
Oh, it's bludgeoning too. Damn.
Yep, 13 points of bludgeoning as well as 13 points of cold as you summon an aquatic ice storm. I'm really unsure what that looks like, except maybe just out of the central spoke of that, it's just jutting like jagged spikes of ice as it's freezing salt water. Either way, they each take 26 points of damage. The Baron is killed in your ice storm, and the maw is significantly wounded.
I mean, you ever seen sleet?
Yeah. As part of your character arc, now that you've been restored by the balance petrichor, you have 3 charges of restore the balance left, which will let you take another action this turn. So at any point in time, if you'd like to take another action up to 3 times, you let me know and you can burn one of those balance charges.
Okay.
Are you done for this turn, or is there anything else you'd like to do? You can move anywhere else on the ship, and there are some bonus actions that might be available to you.
I think I am done for this turn.
Okay. Jezza, you're up. Leo on deck.
Okay. I'm going to assume, I think this is a safe assumption, attempting to smack any of these things is a bad idea.
I think it's fine.
You've punched them before.
Just hit it really hard.
Yeah, like, do I
I mean, it
want to
did
leave
nearly
this
kill you.
shit? Yeah.
I'm gonna try and handle red.
So
Okay.
you could go and punch purple.
So if you want to go handle purple, you should go do that.
Can I safely go into that ice storm?
It is not it's friendly fire, so I think, how long does it last?
Probably concentration.
Let's
Ice
look it up.
storm.
Oh no, it's just once.
Yes, just
Oh,
it,
look at that.
it becomes difficult terrain until the end of his next turn, so you'll have to go, double movement cost entering the zone, but it is just a one-time hailstorm, a freak hailstorm underwater.
I like to think of it as like a finger of death, like the
Nice.
ice finger of death.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so how would I even do this? So what would be the... So I would use my swim speed.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's 40 here,
Uh,
and then
so I would
25
have
the
to...
target.
I would have to use Step of the Wind to make dash my bonus action, correct?
Yep, but that looks like it would get you in melee,
Okay.
if that's where you wanted to be.
I think if I try and avoid combat, I think Zaz is gonna despise good and evil, or whatever that spell was. I think he's going to try that on me to get rid of the cowardice. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, you're right. I have a good idea. Okay, so hold on. I need to pull my character sheet to my other. Did I close my character sheet? I think I just closed my character sheet. God
It
damn
happens
it.
all the time.
Okay, it's going on my second screen. Hold up. I was tabbing between them. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna use. Oh, right. Now I'm up to 13 key points, by the way, because of my leveled up with my belt. So I'm gonna spend a key point for Step of the Wind to double my range, which puts me all the way to the Death Salad. I am now next to the Death Salad. I am in melee range of the Death Salad, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Are you gonna suplex him and toss that salad?
No.
Jeez.
You should do it. You should do it.
You dirty old man.
Goblin! Actual goblin! Like, smaller than my chair. Cannot do that. Negative strength modifier.
Oh man.
I don't have... That was my bonus action, so I can't do Flurry of Blows, which means I can't do this, but I can do this, and when I attack, which will be a normal attack, I will spend a key point to do a Stunning Strike. The target must succeed on a con saving throw or be stunned until the end of your next turn. So...
Go, gadget, stunning fist!
Well, quarterstaff.
Stunning staff.
Yeah. That
sounds like you're bragging. And I have to make a con save, yeah?
Yeah.
14?
What do you check that against? Like, what's that compared to again?
It'll be wisdom plus proficiency plus 8.
Wisdom to proficiency.
I think it's 3 at this level.
It's 4 for me.
Okay.
So
14. So I made it.
Okay, yeah. This sounds really dumb, but I wish I had a better way of displaying that, because I feel like I don't know if I'm lying, because I see proficiency bonus. I see my wisdom modifier is 2.
If you look
And
at
8.
spells, does it show you? No.
Oh, that was you. You changed. Okay.
I
Okay.
did, sorry.
What? I just see my thing change. I'm like, what the hell? Anyways, I give it a good old whack thwack for 16.
Marked. Yeah, I do agree that kind of sucks that you can't see it. Maybe write the developers an angry letter. Leo Jezza streaks past you and, leaping through the damaged prow of the ship, just decides to enter melee with the maw, pummeling it mercilessly with her quarterstaff. What do you want to do?
A couple questions. So with extra attack, that's specifically for using like a weapon, right? So
Correct.
like spells are not considered attacks.
That is correct.
Okay, so I couldn't use a spell and then also hit something.
As you've asked me, yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool.
So I want to be clear. Like, if you take, it's not worth getting into the weeds right now. When a better example comes up, I'll clarify rules if they need to be. But what you're saying is true.
Okay. And then second thing, if I were to suplex a thing, how much damage would that do? What would the like damage?
I would add 2d6 of bludgeoning.
2d6 of bludgeoning. Okay. Just because it sounds cool and not actually good, I'm gonna try to suplex this thing. And first, I'm gonna use. I'm gonna cast. I think I Channel Divinity is a bonus action, right?
You would have to tell me, because I know that there are some action
Yes.
uses of Channel Divinity.
As a bonus action, cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Peerless Athlete, which lets me basically lift twice as much and all that stuff. And then I'm gonna basically run at this thing and I'm gonna suplex it.
Okay. You have advantage on your athletics check to grapple it, so go ahead and make that now.
I'm doing an athletics check.
Yep.
All right.
With advantage, don't forget. Unfortunately, even with your channeling Valkyr's might into your body, you try to lift the massive maw-like creature, grabbing it around the top of its head. You just can't get the leverage to power bomb it, and it resists your attempt.
Dang, it was worth a try.
No, strictly speaking, the grapple is worth one of your attacks. So if you wanted to make a melee attack and you have if you have the extra attack class feature, you can still make a manville attack or another attempt to grapple.
Okay, then I will attempt. I will do a reckless attack with Crow Manville on this guy.
Okay. That hits.
Okay.
Uh, 16, right?
For 16, yep. And 8 of that is lightning damage.
You punch it real good. And that was it for you, right?
Yep.
Kel, it is your turn.
I'm gonna step
Alexis,
to this
you're on deck.
side of the boat, to the side to read. I say, please load that for me. I'm going to need it in a second. And I need the red death salad to roll a charisma saving throw as I cast banishment on it. It does not make it.
Oh, damn it. I don't remember where I go, but I remember it wasn't fun.
Try. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Does that thing the thing that I hit, does that not have a negative to its constitution because of the Alexis's shock?
I believe it was only Constitution for concentration saves.
Okay. Sorry. Please continue.
It does. Wait, no. The death salad does have a minus d6 to its ability checks. So whatever you get a minus 1d6 to that 23. Not
No,
that
it
it
says it
helps.
subtracts a d6 from all attack rolls and ability checks and Constitution saving throws. So a Constitution saving throw to avoid being stunned is neither an ability check, an attack roll, or a Constitution concentration check.
No, I meant for the grapple.
Oh, that is true. I
don't know
don't
if that
think
helps.
it could have mattered,
No, it didn't matter. Sorry.
but yeah, Alexis will have to. I'm terrible at remembering condition effects. Like in D&D, I'm most comfortable at a tabletop, and I've got condition rings that I put on stuff, and that's how I managed to do that. And I'm just terrible at it digitally. I am very, very sorry.
Okay.
I will. It's not on purpose, but I will cheat you guys out of your like persistent effects unless you remind me 60% of the time.
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
wasn't sure if anything qualified there. Sorry, I'm
If
interrupting.
if the target, to answer your other question, if the target is native to a different plane of existence, like the Death
Then
Salads, then it returns to its home plane.
it's not so bad.
But it is incapacitated.
It gone.
Equal by.
Please load that ballista for me, Reed.
I ain't your maid. All right.
I burp a
Any other
little.
actions, Kel? Do you want to have the Kellington make an attack,
Uh,
or are they underwater archers not so great?
Underwater archer not so great. Can I tell my skeleton to go down below and see, like, to try and help seal the water we're taking on? Is that too complicated?
It nods its head up and down and then walks the wrong direction. You turn it around and send it on the thing, and it's still nodding its head yes. We'll see what it comes up with, but you're not like supremely confident.
You know, any little bit maybe helps.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my turn.
Start of the new round. Alexis, Reed, you'll be on deck.
Actually, one more thing. No, we're good. I think
Okay.
we're good.
Alexis up, Reed on deck.
Okay. I'm gonna do an lightning bolt at Diaboleth, which is gonna make it really, really angry at me. And I'm gonna cast it at 4th level. It's gonna take half damage, I'm guessing. Oh wait,
Yeah,
nope.
your DC is. Oh right. No. Yes,
No.
minus the D6, right?
Yeah.
Yes, loading the ballista is an action. Do you want me to roll the 6-sider?
Oh yeah, I should probably do that. Yeah, sorry. 1, 6. Submit. I guess that makes it hit.
It does. For full damage,
28.
plus
28.
you upcast it for 2 more points, right?
Oh
You
yeah.
unfortunately rolled snake eyes on that, but
Yeah, I did. So 30. Yikes! What a waste of a spell slot.
yeah, I mean, Cole, the fun part about D&D in these kind of weird extraneous circumstances is that you kind of get to be a little creative. The only tangible game rule that is impacted by spells underwater is that any fire-based spell does half damage. Otherwise, despite as much or as little sense as it might make, all spells function normally.
Okay, because I was
So
like,
even if it seems like ridiculous, this couldn't possibly work, it does, except that fire does half damage.
okay.
And then it's kind of up to us to find creative loopholes and narrations as how that works and what that looks like. Reed, you're up, and the megalith is on deck.
Uh, Okay, I'm going to trust Kel's in their request and load the ballista for them, and then I'm just going to move a little bit closer up the ship so that I am more in range when the megalith approaches, so I can prepare future attacks with my
Okay.
sunsoul bolts.
Noise.
Full transparency. I realized I had a movement roll and it didn't do it. I did walk 2 spaces behind Petrichor.
Is where you are now, correct?
Yes, that
Okay,
is
cool.
what I did.
The aboleth closes to where Zaz is, and will make all 3 tentacle attacks against Zaz.
Uh-oh.
I think
-6.
that's
-6.
you roll it.
Oh, fuck.
There's such a gap there that mathematically it doesn't matter, and the first 2 will hit.
Well, I helped with the second one slightly. Or the third one
Mm.
slightly.
Yes, the third one went from missing by a little bit to missing by a lot of it.
Why are you rolling so bad on this D6, by the way?
All right.
Let's do the unpleasant.
The
These are
first
hitting
tentacle deals
wheat,
11
right?
points of bludgeoning damage, and the second tentacle
Dang.
does 18 points. So 29 total, and I need 2 con saving throws.
Okay.
Oh wait, they're going for Zaz.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit him with the spirit shield. And reduce some of the damage.
Go. 6 fewer points, so 12 and 11 total of 23.
Okay.
That spirit shield is pretty nutty.
And then 2 con saves.
Yes, please.
Can you keep doing that?
It's 1 reaction per round.
That's actually really nuts, even still.
Oh, good. You resist the disease because you
Wonderful.
didn't and the death salad will make its attack. I'll go bite on Jezza and claw on Leo. Bite on Jezza first. Does a 17 hit?
Yeah, 17 is my AC, so
18 points.
Oof.
And Leo, I know I get advantage because you were reckless, but are you raging right now?
Yeah.
Both hits.
Oof.
4. So 16 becomes 8, and
16 becomes 8.
yeah.
So
Take
16
total of
damage.
16.
Okay.
Yep. God damn barbarians. Barabians.
Bars.
Zaz's turn. Petrichor on deck.
Man, I'm worried Zaz is going to turn into a one-trick pony, but this destructive wave spell is really freaking cool. So,
Rule of cool.
yeah, boots
Get
of
it.
stringing and striding means he's going to jump back up into the not technically air and slam back down on the water, and this time he's going to try and finish it. As part of that, he's going to use one of his channel divinities for Destructive Wrath to make the Thunder half do max damage. As he casts this spell.
So it's 24 and 25?
So
30.
it's 30 and 24.
Nice. And I have to make a con save?
Yep.
Nope. And the death salad says also nope. Oh, I don't have advantage on that. Either way. So double nopes, 54 damage, kills the death salad, and grievously wounds this filler.
Dang. I wanted that kill really
So
bad.
close for the twofer, yeah.
Oh, but like, so we're clear. That salad is dead. The aboleth is almost dead, and now underneath Zaz is a sketching of the symbol of Valkyr.
Nice.
In the crater,
I'm-
love it.
Yup.
Times 2?
No, just the second one.
Okay.
All right. Any other action? Bonus or move?
You know what? Yeah. He arrows at things and then steps forward.
Oh, damn. That's
He's
ballsy.
he's high on that life and lightning.
All right. Petrichor, it is your turn. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna see if I can get that kill.
Go for it.
I'm gonna use my infestation spell. I think it just barely reaches it. Well, I can move, right? And then attack.
Sure.
Like I can move like somewhere over here.
Yeah, you get up to 6
Infestation?
squares of movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw fleas on it.
Yo, somebody else with infestation? That's cool.
I don't think that's gonna get the kill.
Yeah, but it has fleas now, so it's gonna be dying
Go
uncomfortably.
first.
And it has to move. Water fleas.
It failed its Constitution saving throw. It takes 2 points of poison.
Dink.
It
Just
doesn't
want to
matter.
tickle it.
And is this the one that moves me in a direction?
It does.
Yes.
Based off of D6.
6 or 4?
I don't remember.
I think it's 4.
4.
Ah, you right.
So
I move west.
Move west?
That sucks. You rolled 2 1s on that double d6.
terrible.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do this turn? You still
My
have a bit
favorite-
of movement left and a bonus action if you have anything that occupies your.
Make another action and do it again. Kill it, kill it, kill it.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
You want to burn one of your balance charges?
I feel like those are really important.
Do you get to carry those forward into the next encounter?
He gets to use the 3 of them between now and whenever the story is over, but he can use no more than 1 per encounter.
Yeah, I'll save them just in case.
Okay.
Oh,
Then it is
per
Jez's turn.
encounter.
I want to punch the aboleth at this point.
Do it.
Well-
I mean, you're gonna get eye daggers from Zaz no matter who steals his kill, so might as well be you.
Are any of the ballista ready? Like this one? Is this one ready?
Yeah, they were all loaded except for the one that was fired and needed to be reloaded.
Yep, that one has
That-
not been fired.
No, that's not Jez's thing. Jez wouldn't do that. Jez is just gonna go over here. Wait. Wrong. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna try and hit the aboleth.
Heck yeah.
There
Punch
we
him
go.
in the schnoz.
Kick it right in the junk.
Wait, is this not the thing that I punctured with that really cool move
It
when
is.
Zaz? Yeah. Okay. Can I see that scar anywhere?
Yeah, the left side of its neck, just below its mandible.
I want to go up there and I want to punch it right in the neck, right in that
Remember
spot.
me?
And that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be right there, bump, bump, and a flurry of blows.
3 hits.
Everything but the last, I'm guessing.
Everything but the last. Yep.
30 points of damage.
Hot damn.
That is dead. It only needed 12 more. Jezza, tell me how it dies.
Okay. I'm trying not to be like gruesome. And I'm also trying to envision like what I can do with just like normal
Cool.
swim speed.
So you're filling the Persian
gruesome.
goblin. It just has a heart attack. It clutches its chest.
Punch
Pushes
a
its head
hole
closer.
through the scar.
Cole is right. Cole. Okay, so here's how it is. I swim up to it, and then what happens? I manage to get myself right up to the neck, right where that cardiac thing is, or not the cardiac, the scar on its neck. Sorry.
Mhm.
I strike the scar with as much force as I can with like the butt of the my quarterstaff. The skin breaks, and then in a moment, realizing I saw, think back to her days of training. She's like, very carefully, she makes her hand into like the knife hand strike, very slowly touches the skin, and then just pushes straight in without even realizing how her instructor did this technique in just like the form of it, without actually using it on a person, just trying to mimic the form of it. And a pulse goes through the Aboleth's body, running right along the vein until it reaches its heart, and then it dies. Jezza has no idea what she's done. She's like, oh god, that worked.
That's the thing about the dim mock. Awesome. Yeah. From inside its like jugular vein, you death strike it. It roars once in furious defiance, getting ready to crush Zaz and you, and then it just twitches once and collapses on the seafloor. The mighty megalith has been slain. Well done, everybody, tonight. Before you lies the Crucible, and within it, your arch nemesis preparing to unleash the Diluvian Weir upon the world, and we'll deal with that next time on D&D.
Excellent.
And we won't have time for a long rest, though, realistically.
No.
Probably not.
Yeah, cool. Seriously, bail out my ship, guys.
Like, get the water out into the water.
Wait. What did the skeleton do?
It is down there. There are buckets which it completely bypassed and has used ribs out of its rib cage to make a sort of mesh patch that it's trying to put on one of the bulkheads.
Nice.
It's not terribly effective, but it's a genius idea.
Huh. Interesting.
For a creature without a brain.
It is your good one.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cole, for agreeing to come back and reprising the role of Petrichor. I really appreciated you doing it, and it was fun, I think, to catch the players off guard for a little bit. And this is kind of how I always saw your character's story arc going, but it was very cool of you to be able to be here tonight. Are you going to be able to be here next week or 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, I'll make sure.
That would be awesome.
I'd like to see how it ends.
Yeah, me too. Is everybody good for the 18th?
Yes.
Wait, hold up. I should be. Yeah, I definitely am, because that's in the middle of reading week.
Nice.
So I have no excuse.
Perfect.
Wait.
Then
18th?
yes, 2 weeks from today is the 18th, right? I didn't
Yeah.
get that wrong. Yeah. 18.
Excellent.
Cool. Yeah. Let's metagame wrap for just a second. I think we can finish the story that I'm trying to tell next session on the 18th. After that, I like to do a post session, an epilogue with each of the characters. So I am planning to have a game session for I guess it'd be the 4th of March.
Mm-hmm.
Then we would be scheduled to play again on the 18th. With the next session being April 1st. Zell, initially you had said you thought you might be ready as early as April 1st. Do you
I'm
think
still aiming for April 1st, yes.
that in that world along that timeline on the 18th, do you want to do like a session 0 / creation night for your campaign, or do you want me to try to plan something for that night?
I am not sure I will be in the state. Oh, shoot. So I think it will be more helpful overall to do my session 0 stuff outside of a formal sit down and everybody sit around the table and talk about themselves.
Okay.
So I think that regardless of what my schedule is, you doing something on that Friday would make more sense.
Okay. Then I will plan to have something for the 18th, and then will be in your capable hands on the 1st. To the players in this campaign, I've had a lot of fun playing in this world and with these characters, and I just wanted to get it to a point where I feel like I had told an interesting enough story, and I wanted to get us to a point where, like I don't know if some of you have played a lot of D&D and some of you have played very little. There's a pretty common phenomenon where campaigns tend to just kind of peter out because real life happens, and then we lose people to attrition, and then then there's like lack of interest. And Zell and I talked about it once before when we had to miss, I think, 3 game sessions in a row. And Zell basically said, if we miss one more, we might as well just cancel it, because that's how campaigns usually end up dying. There are very few that run the full 20 levels and have like a very gratifying story arc that culminates in group high fives. Usually it's like everybody plays to level 8 and then people stop showing up, or they get a new job and they can't make the same scheduled night. That's how I would say 60 to 70% of my games have kind of just ended. So I wanted to get us to a point where we got to tell a good story, all of us together, and we're almost there, I think. That being said, if we ever wanted to come back to the world, I'm happy with that. Somewhere down the road, if you guys are interested in playing these characters to higher levels, absolutely 100% I would be interested in doing that. I feel like I didn't explain my desire as a storyteller well enough to you guys earlier, and there were some questions about either why I didn't want to go further or if we ever could. So I just wanted to just say to everybody while I had you all here, if that's something we want to do on the road, you have 100% buy-in for me to do it. And I have planted, I think, a couple of good story hooks throughout the campaign that we could easily explore as another adventure if we wanted to somewhere down the road. It wasn't like I hate this character or I hate this world or I'm done with you guys. It was just before real life ruined our game. I just wanted to get us to we bookended a fun story together.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is even if we don't end up coming back to these characters, I just want, necessarily considering this is your own persistent world, correct, Trey?
Yes.
You can use our characters, I think, in other things, if
Yeah.
it's okay
Yeah,
by the
totally.
people.
I guess this is where I kind of come in, is how, in the grand scheme of things, this campaign will have almost been 2 years long, right?
I
Year
think
and
a
a half.
year and
Year and a
yeah,
half.
Year and a half, yeah.
half year and a quarter, yeah.
I guess, like, Zell, did you already have players like ready and characters made? Like, do you have your party made up for when your thing starts?
Actually, so I can transition into that a little bit. I am giving myself, this is the part of the reason I've been so stressed about today, is I'm giving myself a very unrealistic and cruel goal of having the first materials for prep work set up and ready to give to people by Sunday. Because I know I've had people talking about world building stuff and they want to start making characters. I'm not making characters for you guys because that sucks.
Yep.
So
Sure does.
like for the most part, the doors are going to be open and you can start making plans as soon as you start seeing the stuff that I have. I just really wanted to give a proper introduction, and I've had to learn like 8 new skills to make that happen.
Okay, so I guess I don't want to interrupt you, but this is where,
Sure.
because this was kind of the part where I'm going like, oh, have I joined the cult now? Like, were you was the plan that we were going to continue playing for your campaign?
No, by all means,
No.
if somebody wanted to duck out, honestly, I love him to death. I was not expecting Cole to show up, and